Hello, everybody. Welcome to this week's edition of Extra Credits. We're talking about video games, and nothing but video games, and sometimes video game butts. Uh, Joining me, as always, is the man for whom death is always warmed over, the man who always puts a stake in it. We have Castor the Gravedigger.
Hello, my lovely Tuggies. How you doing this wonderful Sunday?
Are you a white? Because you're Caster of Ice and Fire.
Yes.
You were waiting for me to notice that. And then secondly, we have the witchy woman, the woman who is never late. She always arrives precisely when she means to. And this time she decided to be early, which for her is on time. But even if she's late, she's on time. Okay. We have Bunny Girl Nix.
Hello.
Yes, and speaking of arriving early, we have Jason Ingram, channel member. He says I'm signing in early just because. Yep, we don't have any headlines for you, so we're just going to jump right into the main topic. All right, so let's talk about the video game genre of role-playing games, or as commonly called to it, RPGs, which probably is my favorite genre of video games. What about you guys? How does it stand for you guys?
Definitely a huge part of my childhood and adulthood playing games. Huge, like a laundry list of titles that I've played that are in that category.
Oh, and we will get to some of those favorites. What about you, Nix?
Top 3, definitely.
And Jason Ingram is like, look, if we're going to talk about butts, Miranda is on the table. Yes, I put her there. I put her there for the romance scene. Yeah, Mass Effect will probably be something we touch upon. I'm sure we can touch. Okay, bonk. Fun fact: RPGs is actually supposed to be the topic we're supposed to cover right before our hiatus, but like some other stuff happened, so we're just getting around to this now. So I'm really excited. It's in the top 5 if you ask me. That is fair. So first off, I kind of want to go around and ask, like, what does RPGs mean to you? Like, why do you love them? What is it about the genre that attracts to you? And of course, let's do ladies first. Cass, I mean, Nix, go ahead.
Caster, I think that was almost digging you.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I may have the tits for it, but
well, I mean, I play a lot of RPGs. Not always good ones, but the ones I think, if you find the right RPG, the one that speaks the best to you, you'll probably never go back to any other category of game ever again.
Yeah. So Nix, I guess that begs the question, and chat also, please answer this question as well. What was the RPG that spoke to you? And Cass, I'm gonna ask you this the same question, but to have it prepared.
Well, this is gonna be kind of an answer that's like a whole lot of people probably won't know about it, but I definitely say Avion, the Avion series.
Is that like a computer RPG series?
Yes, actually, it's really good. It's kind of a bit more, I don't want to say underground because that makes me sound hipster, but it definitely doesn't have the love
Nix
that
is a
it
hipster.
deserves. Even if some of the later entries are not up to par.
I remember my school computers had them installed, and I tried playing them. I could never really get into them, but I remember those games.
I think my favorite has to be the second one, just because after a certain point in Avion 1, I find that I have no idea what I'm supposed to do, so I kind of just wander around until I get bored. And that's not really a great sign.
Yeah,
So,
that's fair.
But 3 is kind of an odd story because it's kind of divvied up into 3 different parts. 4 maybe, I think, at the most. And then the 4th Avion game, at least I think it's the 4th, is just a straight up kind of spoof / parody kind of game, and I never got into it, so I just kind of leave it untouched. But 2 is the best one, in my opinion.
always like the second one in a series that's the best, you know.
Yeah, typically. It's actually kind of funny too because 2 is kind of the reason I started my project, but that's another time.
That is a topic we'll be getting later on in the stream. You know, like the whole reason Nick's is here.
Yeah. But yeah,
Anything else?
It's got great music. It's got some really great visuals, which is kind of weird to say, considering the system it was created on is like old.
It was created on a potato.
No, I mean like the RPG Maker that they used to make it is like one of the oldest that you can still find. Like it's old enough that nobody actually supports it and they don't make anything for it.
What was it, like RPG Maker 95 or something?
No.
Because if I remember correctly, the oldest one that you can currently get is XP, which is from 2000.
Yeah, that's it. That's XP.
Yeah, because that's from 2000, if I remember correctly. Because I remember that in middle school. I went to middle school 99 to 02, and I remember RPG Maker XP from then.
But yeah, Avion 2, it's got really fun quests. It's got really fun locations that you can go to. It's got a pretty good story. I liked it. I wouldn't say that it's great. The characters are fun too. My only complaint is that you can't have your witch character, like your you can't have your healer together at the same time because their characters clash, and if you pick one to travel with, you can't take the other unless you go in and like switch them out. Which is kind of terrible because like I want great attack spells, but I'd also like some great healing too, thanks.
Yeah, healing is always good.
But yeah, great RPG.
All right, so before we get to a caster, I want to read off some comments. So Unique in the Madness says, third and fourth part RPGs, great music, great visuals. The Dog Hack series. Sorry, I meant Dot Hack series. Dog Hack series. That just sounds like an awesome game that I want to play.
It'd be a parody game.
It would. But yeah, like the Dot Hack games, that is definitely something we're going to be talking about here later on. God, I want a remaster of like the Infection series so bad. But anyway, caster. What's the same thing? Just from a more dead voice.
Okay, well, I would say probably, and I've been acquainted with RPGs my whole life. Played a few of them, never really got into them until probably the one that got everyone into around my age was Final Fantasy VII. Mm-hmm. And it was like the first major RPG I played. Everyone was going nuts over it. I decided to play it because I knew about the Final Fantasy series before, and that was pretty much my main my first serious introduction into RPGs. And from there, I couldn't get enough of them. You know, I was playing the rest of the Final Fantasy series, playing I think some other ones on there. Xenogears, things like that. Any and every one you can get your hands on basically at that point. That you just fell in love with the entire genre.
All right. Real quick before I continue, I got Dog Hack. Why are we hacking a German Shepherd? No, we're hacking a Shiba Inu, and he's been pulling the levers of this horror game the entire time.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, Nix. You know the reference I just made.
Unfortunately.
For those who don't know, I was referencing Silent Hill 2, but continue, caster.
But yeah, so I think for me, a lot of people's first foray into the RPG genre was through JRPGs and Final Fantasy, and then playing other games like Chrono Trigger and Chrono Cross and all that. Yeah, so that was pretty much my foray into it. I think the first RPG I ever played, and not knowing that's what they were called, was Dragon Warrior for the NES. and I think that was a lot of people's for the NES era. I think that was a lot of people's first
They
introduction to
literally gave
RPGs.
it away. They literally gave it away at one point. So
They literally gave it away as a promotional for Nintendo Power for resubscribing. You got a brand new game, which I thought that's awesome. And I don't have it here with me. Where the hell did I have it?
and honestly,
But
for an NES game, it's actually very meaty.
yeah, but I can't remember what I did with it. But I have the actual cover letter that came with the game, and it was signed by the editor in chief at the time of Nintendo Power, and it was basically saying like, hey, thank you for your subscription, renewal your subscription. Here's a brand new game, Dragon Warrior, and then it talks about how like we're excited, we're going to be excited next year when we bring out the Super Nintendo and everything. So yeah, there's actually a way to find out which version you have of Dragon Warrior, but you have to have, as far as I know, you have to have the like complete in box. Um, if you have the box of Dragon Warrior on the back, there's a screenshot of fighting a slime, and if it says thou HP decreaseth by one, then you have a first edition run. If it says decreased by two, you have the Nintendo Power version. I don't know why.
Interesting.
I don't know why they changed that, but yeah,
Hmm.
that's how you can tell.
Yeah, that's why if you're looking at the values of Dragon Quest games on the NES, that's why like Dragon Warrior 1 is like kind of reasonably priced because they made like a bajillion copies. But like they actually did release Dragon Warrior 1 through 4 on the NES. But like
Yeah,
they're insanely rare. Especially like Dragon Warrior 4 on the NES. US, by the way.
insanely rare. Yeah, it's
And
insane. Like I had one and two for the longest time, and yeah, I don't have three and four. Those two are like crown jewels of the NES collection.
all right. Nix is gonna dip out for a second. We'll see you in a little bit, Nix. Yeah, like I've seen, I think I was at a game store once, and I saw a copy of Dragon Warrior 4, and that's the closest I've gotten to. And I think even then, this is probably like mid 2010s. It was still like insanely.
Even loose, it's crazy.
Well, when it comes to like cartridge games, most people collect loose anyway.
Yeah,
Um,
but I'm just saying, even like in loose, I'm just saying like loose copies are insanely priced. Let alone having like complete in box. Oh my god.
okay. So I got the price charting pulled up here. Let me just like kind of do this real
Yep,
quick.
there she is.
Look at
Dragon
that.
Warrior 4.
128 loose, which that doesn't seem too bad for what it is. But 374, 375
Mhm.
essentially
Yep.
complete is insane.
Yep.
I don't think I ever played Usurper or Lord. In fact, that's text based on DOS. Yeah, that's probably why.
Yeah, now that is some old school RPG and right there is some text based ones. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I played some text adventures before. I think I've done like Zork and a few other ones. But yeah, I've never done stuff like that. Oh god. Uh, Drug Wars was another one. I only heard about that one through like history. Like yeah, there's like this Drug Wars game from the 80s. It was wild. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, so for me, my turn. Uh basically I got into RPGs probably late 90s or so. I think I messed around with Final Fantasy 7. The first RPG that I probably delved deep into, and this will explain a lot, is probably Pokemon Red or Pokemon Blue. I can't remember.
Hmm.
And then from there, I played a lot of the Game Boy RPGs. Like I played a lot of like Dragon Warrior 1. Had 1 and 2 on the Game Boy Color, and then 3 I played a little bit of that. Dragon Warrior Monsters was really good. Final Fantasy Adventure or Snake Densu 1, the first Mana game. And then I did play a lot of PS1 games. Final Fantasy VIII was probably the first Final Fantasy I got really deep into. So like that's why when Jason Ingram says FF7 is his favorite, yeah, I'm with you there. I love FF8. It is a beautiful game. Let's see here, but yeah, and then when it came to obviously probably the thing that solidified my love was the Game Boy Advance. Golden Sun. Golden Sun is the thing that like really, because the thing is, like you've seen my game streams. I'm an okay gamer at best. Like I'm not a crappy gamer, but I'm not gonna be a pro gamer anytime soon. You know, like middling skill, like but on like the lower end of middling, I would rate myself. The thing I like about RPGs is oftentimes it's not about your skill as a gamer. So it's not like your reaction time. It's up here. Like, can you strategize? Because I like turn-based RPGs. Because it's like,
Oh yeah,
you've got like team composition. Like that's why I love Pokemon. I love like, all right, what moves are they gonna have? What's my team composition gonna be? Like, what Pokemon do I want? Do I want this one that has a single type? Do I want a dual type? Oh, this Pokemon can learn multiple. You know, like I love like the team composition.
well, see, that's the thing is like, you may not be the pro gamer as in like, Call of Duty, godlike, reflexes and that kind of stuff, but you could be the pro gamer on the other end where, you need smarts and strategy because you get the average, dead brain COD fan. They're not going to be playing. They're not going to know what the hell they're doing in Pokemon. You're gonna smoke them,
I mean, and here's the thing: like, if you actually look into the like, there's only one pro gaming scene to where if I like in another timeline, I could have actually seen myself like the pro, like the actual like pro VGC Pokemon. That's a scene where like in another lifetime, if I'd actually tried, I probably could have done it because it is very much like a thinking, but it's also kind of like a head game. Like you're kind of trying to anticipate things. Like, all right, here's his team. What is he gonna do? So it's kind of you're trying to predict things. It's really interesting. Like a lot of these like VGC Pokemon battles are really the only like esport that I sometimes watch.
Yeah, like
It's the only one I understand.
because I love Pokemon too, and I love like I haven't really been obsessed with Pokemon for a while, but like back in the day, like I'm gonna say the last time I got really, really, really into building teams was probably like during the 3DS era.
Oh,
And
me too, Gen 6. Like I was really like the
yeah,
XY Oris era because like I was going to college. I've spoken upon this a couple times.
yeah,
I was really deep into it.
yeah, I was deep into that too. That was like I was into that scene, like the DS, 3DS eras. I was super into Pokemon.
That
I
was
was
a good
super
time.
into I
That was a
was
good
super
time.
into like building teams, and I like to think I was pretty good. Like I won. I
I
won
built
as
some good
good.
Pokemon. I built some
Yeah,
Pokemon that I'm very proud of.
yeah. I was saying like I probably won as much as I lost. I mean um, and it's always fun playing those games, and yeah, like you said, coming up with new strategies and stuff. And then a lot of times, what's fun is taking. I like taking Pokemon that no one uses, right? And trying to find even if it's a niche strategy, trying to find some way to make them viable. Um, you know, because that's pretty much what you want to do in Pokemon is you want to say, what's my win condition, and
Mhm.
how do I get to that win condition, and what can I do? And you're like, okay, I got this Pokemon I want on my team. What can I do to make it viable? What do I have to have on my team to help and support it? You know, Uh, but one team I remember having is I loved my I think I mentioned this before. I love my oh, I forgot the hell the electric spider is called. Uh,
Joltik?
but the huh?
Joltik?
It's the evolved form of Jiltic. Um,
All right,
but
let me look it
anyways,
up.
yeah. Anyways, I keep forgetting his name. I don't know why, but had
It's
him.
fine.
Yeah, yeah. I can't remember.
I have the name, but I cannot even gonna try and pronounce it. I'm putting it in private chat.
Okay. Oh yeah, Gallavantula.
Oh, okay, yeah. Jason Ingram flexing. He's yeah, because Jason Ingram's a member for $5. He's a torchbearer. You can too, but whatever.
Yeah.
Like the video guys.
Yeah, Gallavantula. So I'd have Gallavantula, and I would shoot. First thing I would do is I would use gastric acid because he has incredible speed. He's a glass cannon. Doesn't really have. He's not really hard hitting, but he's all speed. So at like level 50, he has like 200 speed, which is like insane. So use gastric acid on my Slaw King, and then use electro webs to make everything slow.
Here's
Yeah,
his stats.
Yeah, there's his. Look at his speed. His speed is like he's cracked out on speed. Look at that.
Yeah, and he's got really good special attack as well. So.
Got a good special attack. So what you want to do is basically you want to set up with him. So he's going to be your focus sashed Pokemon because you're going to have him with electro webs, gastro acid, and after that point, Thunderbolt or whatever you want to have him have. I think he can learn Energy Ball, so you can throw that in the mix too for weird stuff. But anyways, you want to use Gastro Acid on your Slaw King, and then Electro Webs. So the Electro Webs pretty much slow everything down, and then Gastric Acid turns off Slaw King's negative ability, Truancy. So that way he can attack with that massive ass fucking attack every turn. And Electro Webs slows everything down.
Yeah. So I had a Go-Goat. Basically it was like a tank. I love that Pokemon so much. It has an ability called Worry Seed, to where it changes the ability to insomnia.
Okay.
Where I can't fall asleep. So use that on Slacking.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Nyx has no idea what we're talking about. She has no idea.
No, I do. I play Pokemon.
Yeah, I'm from that same era. For me, what I loved about that kind of era Pokemon is little kind of tricks you could do, little kind of things like a quick, for example, Quick Feet Jolteon, where if it has a status effect, it becomes faster. So you give it a Fire Orb, because when a Pokemon is burnt, it lowers its attack. Jolteon is a special attacker. A Quick Feet Jolteon is literally one of the fastest Pokemon in the game, or it was at the time. Or stuff like a Poison Heal Gliscor, where if you gave it a Poison Orb and it's poison, it actually heals itself. Or the ability of Sheer Force negating the bad effects of Life Orb, because Life Orb gives you a boost, but it also damages you. So if you use a Life Orb with the ability Sheer Force, which Sheer Force raises the power of moves but cancels out the secondary effects. So you get the boost from Life Orb, but none of the disadvantages. So I had a Sheer Force Nidoking. That was like a special sweeper. It fucking wrecked shop.
Or one of my favorites was a Trick Room team with an intentional slowed down Machamp with No Guard. No Guard ensures that both Pokemon's moves will hit regardless of accuracy. So you give him the ridiculously it's like 30% accurate, but it's going to hit every time.
Punch.
Dynamic Punch. You give him that. Oh, it's 50-50. It'll hit every turn. So you use Dynamic Punch. It already gets 100. It's 100 base move. Plus it gets another 50 because of pure attack. Plus if you give him like a Life Orb, that's another 30% on top of that. So all that massive power behind that punch with his insanely high attack. And then if it does survive, it gets confused. Plus with the Trick Room, it's going to be like super fast. I mean, that thing was just... And just dump defense and attack into it, and that thing was amazing. I love that Pokemon.
Oh, I remember one time I had a Rhydon that I gave an Evilite to because Evilite,
Oh yeah,
increases the and I boosted up a special defense. This Rhydon could take a surf straight to the face and survive. 4x
oh yeah.
weakness, by the way. Like, can you imagine that? Like, you have this Rhydon, they do a surf, like, oh, I'm gonna one hit KO it. Why aren't you dead?
Pretty much, and it comes back and just annihilates. Oh no,
Yeah. I love that stuff, but I love do like all those little tricks. It was so much fun. Next, what were some of your favorite Pokemon to use?
Honestly, it varied from game to game, but like I always keep my starter around because like
Mm-hmm.
that's my dude. That's I raised that boy.
I think the
But
only time I ditched my starter was when I played Pokemon Scarlet, just because I did not like its final evolution. Like, you get this like cute little duck, like with this military beret. You know, I was like, oh, I'll name him General Ducky. And I thought, oh, he was like somewhat militaristic. You know, he turned into like this ballerina type thing. It's like, that's not what I wanted.
no, it was he had a little pompadour, and then his final evolution was like because it's supposed to be set in like Pokemon Spain or Mexico or whatever. It's supposed to be like a male flamenco dancer kind of looking,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's not
or it's
what I
supposed to be
wanted.
based on like I don't know.
It's supposed to be based. I think it's supposed to be based on like southern Spain.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
Flamingo Dancer sounds about accurate, honestly.
I
So
Um,
it's time
loved
to wake
it.
up. It's time to wake up is like Yu-Gi-Oh is better than Pokemon. It's okay to be wrong, sir. It's okay. The only thing you're right about is Pence. That's all I'm gonna say.
yeah, but see, that's the thing. That's card games. That's a whole other set of nerd.
But
We're
it's the
talking
king
about
of games.
RPGs. But
I think this
but
is the
yeah,
one chance where you can say like bring up Digimon.
yeah, I guess
Yeah,
so.
yeah. I mean, the Digimon games are RPGs, but like, I actually was gonna say I want a General Ducky to go full Digimon and just strap some guns to him.
I'm gonna say probably one of my favorite designs is a shiny Mega Gardevoir.
What? What? What?
Caster,
What?
Caster. That like are you on any lists, sir? Do you need to tell us something?
There's no rules about the
He's
Pokemon.
realized what he said. He just
There's
realized what he just
there's
said.
no rules about the Pokemon. I got a Lopunny. Batman, I caught a Lopunny. but
Um,
uh,
for
but
those who
no,
are
like,
wondering why we're getting all uncomfortable when he mentioned Gardevoir, please do yourself a favor and do not look it up.
no, but seriously though, shiny Mega Gardevoir looks badass as fuck.
Okay.
Looks like she's wearing like a goth ball gown.
Hmm.
Nice.
It
For
looks
me, there's
awesome.
always certain Pokemon, like certain generations. I always have certain, like Gen 2. No matter what I do, I always end up with an Espeon because Espeon is just like the perfect second Pokemon for a Gen 2 run.
Yeah.
And then whenever I do Gen 1, early to mid game, I always have a Butterfree because Butterfree is like amazing early to mid game. Like level 10, it learns Confusion. Like literally, a level 10 Butterfree can just solo that first gym just by spamming Confusion.
Hmm.
Like it is great in the early game. It peters out during the mid game, but you gotta switch it out. But still,
Yeah.
great Pokemon. I love Butterfree.
One thing I
Um,
would like though is I hope in like the next generation we do actually get voice acting.
yeah, the fact that even Zelda is starting to like the Legend of Zelda series, which is not an RPG. Trust me, that's going to be a topic here later. Even they're starting to add voice acting to their games. Pokemon is like you can really feel it. Uh, like a lot of their cutscenes are just begging for voice acting.
Oh yeah,
Well, yeah.
I really love the story in Scarlet and Violet. I love the story. I love the side stories, and it'd been great if they actually had voice acting.
My favorite was the Path of Titans. I'm sorry. Saving that doggo was like that made the whole game worth it.
Oh
Saving
yeah,
that
Sweet.
good boy. And like
Yeah.
they always played that sad music when you were like rounding up the herbs. It's just like, oh, I want you to be better.
My biggest complaint about Scarlet and Violet story-wise, because I could go on and on about the visuals, like, but like, yeah, they were terrible, but it's not the whole game. Story-wise, I always hated how, what's his name? The dude with the dog is like, oh, I hate my mother. Father in Violet, I guess. Yeah, but I hate
Well,
how.
Scarlet also had the woman too. I think
Yeah.
Violet was a man. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, that's what I said. But I was
Okay.
gonna say, like, I always hate how at the end, because he's going the whole game. He's like, yeah, my parental figure abandoned me basically to focus on their research 24/7. I was pretty much neglected the entire time I was growing up. And then at the end, they're like, I hate you, I hate you, I hate you. And then at the end, he's like, no, no, wait. I love you. Don't, even though it's
And then
like
you
a photo
reveal
of the
that
parent.
like it's a robot, and your parent died a long time ago.
And even still, he's like, yeah, but I don't, I don't hate my parent. I understand why they did it. I'm like, I don't. When you become a parent, your kid should be like number one in your life. Yeah, you could have other focuses too, but like your kid should be paramount.
I thought like the revelation that they're a robot would be like, okay, the situation sucks, but I get it. They're a robot. You know, like I wish they would have shown some empathy, but like they're a freaking robot. Which it's just the fact that we're discussing. Oh, my mom alienated me. Oh, my mom actually died when I was very young, and there's been a robot this entire time. In fact, the only person I've ever known is a robot. I've never even known my real mother. Oh god, that's a messed up storytelling. Sorry, I went on one of those rants. Okay, so it's time to wake up. Says Zelda 2 was action RPG light. Okay, I'll give you that one. That I will grant you. It is action RPG light.
The very original Zelda could be classified as an RPG.
I would debate that. And I think, like, you know what, let's just go into that topic. Because how many times have we heard this whole debate of Zelda is an RPG? Do you think Zelda is an RPG? Like, I do respect the argument that Zelda 2 is action RPG like. It does have a lot of the trappings of that. So I will give that, I will concede that. The rest of the series, I don't know. What do you guys think?
I don't know. If it was an RPG, it wouldn't be like in the most traditional sense, but it is like an action adventure game.
Action adventure, yes.
Well,
I would agree.
okay, but the quite literal meaning of RPG is role playing game.
Well, by that logic, FIFA 2019 is a role. Actually, it is a role playing game. No, but Madden 94 is a role playing game. Quake is a role playing game. Like literally every video game ever. Tetris is a role playing game. Like that's the problem.
Are you playing
with,
a role though? In Tetris, I think you're just stacking blocks.
Your role is the one who's stacking the blocks. Like, you see, that's the argument I'm trying to make. By using the argument of calling it a role playing game, the definition becomes so broad that literally it can be applied to anything. GTA 3 is a role-playing game. Doom, Quake, trying to think here. Puyo Puyo, Sonic the Hedgehog is a role-playing game. That trust me, I've heard that. Like, I was actually going to bring that argument up, like, oh, like, kind of thing. I mean, I guess there's no other place to say it's like, what is an RPG? I mean, that's literally, I think, the title of the thing here. To me, it's a set of mechanics and the way you approach the game. So it's like mechanics, story. It's like a soup, and there's a certain recipe to make the soup. Like yes, like for example, yes, like you can make tomato soup. But just because you put tomatoes in a salad does not make it tomato soup. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
No, but it does.
That was
It
actually a
does have.
surprisingly good analogy. I gotta say,
But
that was
it
actually
does have
quite-
a lot of. It does have a lot of RPG elements, such as like managing your inventory and character customization and all that stuff. You know,
So does a lot of games nowadays.
I understand that, but
Call-
I'm just saying, but it does have a lot of RPG elements.
a lot of games have RPG. Call of Duty has RPG elements. They're gonna call Call of Duty an RPG.
Well, no, that's just being facetious at that point.
But
Because
there's level up systems. There's inventory. There's mechanics. Like that's kind of my problem.
I understand that, but are you going to say that Zelda is not closer to RPG than Call of Duty? You'll say Call of Duty is closer to an RPG than Zelda?
I mean, you could say it has RPG elements. Sure.
It's not a pure RPG, but it does have like action adventure with RPG elements in it because you go on quests and stuff like that. There's side quests and things, so it
But the
does have
problem I
those
have with it, the
elements of
problem I
it.
have with that is, even if I concede that little ground, it's like, oh, it's an RPG now. Oh, you conceded that it has RPG elements. It's an RPG. Zelda's an RPG. I win. I win the debate. Ha 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 ha. That's the kind of
Well,
thing. Like,
I don't know who's doing that here, but I'm just saying it has RPG elements. I'm still not saying it's an RPG. I'm just saying it has RPG elements.
yeah, Secret of Mana is definitely an action RPG. I think it's actually like the trendsetter for action RPGs. Like honestly, honestly, the only Zelda game that gets close to an RPG other than Zelda 2, I'd argue is Breath of the Wild. Breath of the Wild gets very close to action RPG territories. I'm not saying it's quite the way there, but Breath of the Wild is very close, in my opinion. What do you think, Nix?
I guess, yeah.
How would you define an RPG?
I haven't played Breath of the Wild in so long. It's all about Tears of the Kingdom right now. Actually, not even that. I haven't even played that. I kind of got bored of it after a while because I beat it and I was like, yeah. Okay, but now that I'm done,
Somebody
what
get this
now?
girl a copy of Echoes of Wisdom.
Right? But no, I actually don't even know where my Switch is, and it doesn't all. It still to this day does not want to connect to my internet, and it's
That sucks.
bugging me so much. I have to send it off to Nintendo, but I'm never gonna do it. So, rip.
Oh, I do love this. Fantasy football is Dungeons and Dragons for jocks. How can
kind
it
of
be
is.
so right, but also so right at the same time?
Yeah, it kind of literally is.
And that's the thing, like, if you actually do, like, start the comparisons with, like, football and nerddom, they actually match up pretty well. Like, when you have a person wear, like, a football jersey of, like, their favorite player, is that not a form of cosplay? You know?
I mean, they probably wouldn't want to admit it, but
like the way that like people criticize us for watching Nintendo Directs, and then the same people watch like the football, the Rose Bowl, or stuff like that. I'm not digging them. I'm just like saying the comparisons are pretty apt. Let's see here. Jason Ingham says, "I'm sorry using it. Don't Duck Hunt is an RPG. I mean, you kind of are playing a role in Duck Hunt. You're playing a hunter shooting ducks. Like, you can't shoot the dog though. You can't shoot the dog."
he makes fun of me for every miss. Well, I got an idea. Why don't we put the dog behind the gun? See how well he does.
Yeah.
Come on, dude. Use those sumless little hands you got. See if you do better.
Yeah, I mean, have you seen that? He has full dexterity fingers. Like he grabs the throat of those ducks. You know.
Kinda, yeah.
I would say while Mario isn't an RPG, there is a Super Mario RPG.
That is true. That is true.
It's actually kind of sad it doesn't get more love than it gets already.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
like
funny
like
I see Mario art all the time, like fan art and stuff, but I rarely ever see fan art of like the Mario RPG, and it's kind of sad because like it's good.
Well, the thing is, like, I remember like interacting with fandoms. Gino was a really popular character in 2010s. Like I
He
know the sort.
was.
Like Gino got a lot of fan art, because like the people I like, a lot of the people I interact with, like huge Gino fans, like men and women, were like, and Mario RPG is a very very popular game because I was big in the retro scene in the 2010s, and like that was a big one.
I feel like he was kind of a pseudo Tumblr sexy man type of character
Hmm.
for a lot of people.
Oh God.
If you don't understand what that term means, I'm not going to explain it.
I know what it. I know what it
I
means.
know. Oh, I know. Oh, I know. That's why I rolled my eyes.
Anyone in the chat who's confused, just go Google it, I guess, or don't. Save your soul.
I will say, I may have created characters in my comics like the character who I designed to kind of be a Tumblr sexy man.
I got the perfect one for you. Just go watch on YouTube anything with the Lorax and read the comments.
Oh God!
Oh my god, yeah.
Oh my God!
Ugh, ew.
Yeah.
Or
I mean,
watch any BBC Sherlock like I'm just gonna say something, and anybody who knows Tumblr is gonna cringe. Super Hulock.
oh.
Yeah.
Why do you have to bring that up?
I've watched some like deep dives into like Tumblr history. It is
Things that should be left buried by the sands of time.
it belongs in a museum.
Not even, just leave it in the tomb from whence it came.
Yeah.
But,
Also, but Nix,
I mean-
if you're good, I'll allow you 15 minutes in the ball pit.
Yeah.
I
Sans
just want to.
from Undertale was a Tumblr sexy man at some point.
All right, I just want to share this real quick since the opportunity's here. This is a character from Turn Samurai number 3. This is Gladden. Since we're on the topic, Nix, can you see it?
Yeah.
I tried.
Yeah.
I tried. It's actually a good character design, but yeah, I tried. Sorry, we were talking about it. I was like, I don't know if I'll have an opportunity to show this character design again, so I'm going to do that.
Well, you know what they say. If you stare into Tumblr, be careful because Tumblr will stare back at you.
Oh god.
I mean, their rating skills are pretty bad. Like, remember the time they tried to rate 4chan?
Mm-hmm. But
I'm making Nick's cringe so bad. I wish you'd get off this topic.
God.
I will say though that speaking of like the Switch and stuff, I would say probably the Switch is probably the greatest RPG system ever made.
Oh.
Haha.
PS1 has words for you, sir.
Oh, I know, but I'm just talking about in our modern era. I mean, like, look how many RPGs and RPG remakes we've gotten for the Switch.
All right, fair enough. So let's talk about like what systems were like really great for RPGs. You mentioned the Switch.
Oh, PS1, yeah, definitely. PS1, without hands down.
Super Nintendo.
Super Nintendo, yeah, that was good.
Game Boy Advance and PSP are my entrance, and 3DS, and DS.
Yeah, but PlayStation hands down. PlayStation 1 was an RPG, powerhouse. You could have a whole collection of nothing but RPGs for that. It was just so many.
Well, it was all due to Final Fantasy 7. Like the PS1 was getting RPGs before Final Fantasy 7, but after like the mega success, the floodgate just opened.
Oh yeah.
Like look at yeah.
And that's the thing about Final Fantasy 7. 7 gets a lot of hate, and I think people hate it because they just like hating the popular thing.
Yeah.
Because there's somebody I followed on Twitter, and I've had mutual respect for them, but man, their opinions on games were just completely opposite of mine. And I would just sit there and go, why? Why do you have such shitty taste all the time? But they would sit there and like talk about how Final Fantasy VII is like a garbage game, and I'm like, it is not a garbage game. You may not like it, but it is not a garbage game.
Final
Oh
Fantasy
my god,
VII was popular for a reason. Not only is it a phenomenal game with phenomenal storytelling, and its antagonists are like one of the top tier, but it introduced a lot of people
I
to
mean,
the
Italy
genre of
sure
RPG.
loves Final Fantasy 7.
Yeah.
yeah,
Also,
it
it's
is.
time to wake up. We did get a Chrono Trigger sequel. We did.
Yeah,
The only reason I did that bit is I had it literally sitting right there. So
yeah. But yeah, I tell you what, I love Chrono Cross. There's people I don't know why people hate it. I love the
I
game.
can't get into it. I can't get into it. I've tried playing it so many times. I
I
can't
don't
get into it.
I don't understand those words. Like
Beautiful game, amazing music. I just can't get into it.
it's a awesome game and one of the few RPGs like story wise that actually brought a tear to my eye. There's one storyline in there that I actually just got real emotional over. I was like, oh my god, you know, like you
How
shed
dare
a
you
tear
do this to
almost.
Caster?
I know, and I was just like, it's amazing. It's an amazing story. And what's cool about it is you can play it without any knowledge of Chrono Trigger because it's not a it's I don't want to say it's not as really a direct sequel, but it is in the same universe, and it does some characters do cross over, but it is its own story in the same universe.
If I
Even
were
though
to suggest, if you're going to play Chrono Cross today, get the Radical Dreamers collection because it does include the audio drama or like the text adventure from the Satellaview, which is like a bridge
okay,
between Chrono Trigger and Chrono Cross.
awesome. I do need to get
Uh,
that. I do need to get that. By the way, I don't have it, but I do need to get it because the music in yeah, that's another thing too. Is I think we should talk about is just the music in a lot of RPGs is just
yeah.
absolutely amazing, banger after banger.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
You don't
And
have
let's
to
give
hear
some,
it for hours on end while you're stuck
yeah,
on
yeah.
a puzzle or something.
To give some love to composers, Nobu Uematsu, the guy who did like the first 10 Final Fantasy games, is like the goat. Like, uh, I'm gonna say this. I don't think this will be a hot take. You might disagree with it, but I don't think it'll be a hot take. Nobu Uematsu is the John Williams of video game composers.
oh, absolutely,
Like,
absolutely,
that's why I'm saying, even if you disagree with it, it's not really a radical take, in my opinion.
yeah. And there's a song he wrote for Final Fantasy VIII, and he I remember this is I love the story. He said he was like in the clothing store one day, and he was just sitting there shopping around, and he was just like, wait a minute, why does this song on the overhead sound so familiar? And he asked the lady what they were playing, and they said, oh, we're playing what such and such from Final Fantasy VIII. And he was like, yeah, I wrote that song. Like like
That
he
has
was like,
gotta
why is it?
be that's gotta
He
be
was
the
like, why?
greatest feeling.
Yeah, he was just like, why is this? Because he says he was just walking around shopping, and he was just like, wait a minute, why is this song so familiar? It's my song. That's why.
I'm just gonna say this. I love so much of Nubu stuff. My favorite song he's done is "Theme of Love" from Final Fantasy IV. Oh my
Uh-huh.
god, like that song is so beautiful. Like I would have that played at my wedding. Like it like basically it kind of hits that same spot that Across the Stars does for episode 2, you know? Like
Mm.
have you guys played Final Fantasy 4?
No.
Yes, I have. Yes, I have. I've played I'm gonna say it's probably the best way to play it is the DS version.
PSP. PSP.
PSP?
Yeah. Because the DS version is like a 3D remake. The Final Fantasy IV Complete Collection on the PSP is a 2D version. I think it's based off the Wonder Swan version or whatever.
Okay.
It includes the base game, After Years, and it includes Interlude. After Years was like these Wii Shop exclusives. I think the only way you can get it physically is on this PSP collection.
Hmm.
and it looks great. Like they add some great effects. That is how I recommend playing it. But honestly, nowadays just get the pixel remaster or whatever. That's probably your best bet if you want. If you don't want to hunt anything down, you just want to go out there and get it. So Nyx, basically the gist of Final Fantasy IV is a love story. So you have this dude named Cecil, who is a dark knight. You know, they use the power of evil or whatever. I'm grossly, kind of thing. So he works for like this king, and there's this woman named Rosa who's a white mage. And he's in love with her, but it feels like he can't be the man he needs to be because he's a dark knight. But she loves him dearly, and so he leads this group of people called the Detroit Red Wings. The Red Wings. Sorry, I couldn't help it.
Yeah.
I couldn't help it.
Yeah.
Go Wings. But so
I'll say also the fact that he does feel conflicted over the stuff he is doing for his kingdom.
And it eventually leads him to getting outcasted as like this whole story. Yeah. But my favorite sequence, and this is what I love, is he goes through this whole trial, and he basically does like a class change from a Dark Knight to a Paladin. He willingly put in the work to become the man he felt he needed to be for the woman he loved. I freaking love it.
Yeah, it is Final Fantasy IV is probably one of my favorites, and it is a great game. Whether however you play it, whether it's you playing the Super Nintendo version, DS, or whatever, it is an amazing game.
To me, I love the
story.
To me, it is like the quintessential Final Fantasy game. Like if you want just one game to distill what Final Fantasy is, I'd tell you to play Final Fantasy IV.
I'd probably say, yeah, I agree with that wholeheartedly. That's probably like the first, like, where Final Fantasy was hitting its stride and knew what it wanted to be as a series. Was 4, and then from there it was just banger after banger.
Yeah, like the thing about Final Fantasy is it's a series of experimentation. They're really the only, like, especially in the classic era, which is like 1 through 6, the only 2 games where like they're just telling like a really good story are 4 and 6. The other ones are more just like, 1 is like very rough around the edges. 2 is like it's basically a tryout for the Mana series. Saga. Sorry, Saga. Because like the guy who did number 2, oh god, why I said that. He went on to do the Saga series, and if you play 2, you can really tell the roots of the Saga series are there. 3 is another experimentation with like job switching. 4 is 4. 5 is kind of a sequel to 3. And I feel like 6 is kind of a sequel to 4. What do you think, Caster?
I would say so too, yeah.
Sequel not in the story sense, but sequel more in like the mechanical sense.
Yeah, they do seem a lot similar. And then of course we bridge the gap into 7 and 8 and 9 on the the PlayStation trilogy, which are all amazing. And then of course we get into the PS2 era and Final Fantasy X. Oh my god, that game is awesome.
Yeah, I played a bunch of it. It's really good. And then we got like the sequel 10-2 with the greatest massage mini game ever.
I tell you what, I could not play 10-2. I tried so hard to do it. I just did not like the game mechanics.
Nyx, have you played 10-2?
No, but I have seen walkthroughs and stuff.
So you know about the massage mini game.
Yeah.
Sorry, I had to bring it up. But yeah, like, and obviously Final Fantasy was doing spin-offs as early as the Super Nintendo. Final Fantasy Mystic Quest, Tactics. Oh my god, that's like, 7 is a sequel to 10. Yeah, I know. There's like long been theories about like 7 and 10 being connected. I don't know if they've like canonized it.
Yeah, you definitely can. You can definitely see it. But I don't know if they are related or not. But I've heard that for a long time. Like all the ones are related in some way or another, over like thousands of years.
You sound like a Zelda theory tuber.
I know exactly. Yeah. That's never actually played any of the games.
Final Fantasy. Okay. Here's a good question. Final Fantasy VII, the original or the remakes? I would say.
Okay.
Okay, go ahead.
I gotta speak here as the massive Final Fantasy fan that I am. Final Fantasy, the original, is the original timeline. The remakes aren't actually a remake. It's more of a continuation of the original story. It's just that the way it was explained to me is that Sephiroth is the only one who kind of knows what's going on because it's Advent Children Sephiroth. And if I'm wrong about this, may God strike me down.
Numora!
But
I'm sorry, this is such a Nomura plot. This is like a Nomura plot. It has its fingerprints all over it.
Legit though. But yeah, 7 is the way to experience. The original 7th is the way to experience Final Fantasy 7 because they changed so much of it in the remake that
I don't think the remake is
lose
bad,
a
though.
lot. It's not bad. I just don't like the changes they make.
Yeah.
Changes that they made specifically to pander to a certain crowd.
Yeah, I got you. So Dana says, "Good evening, guys. RPGs are so popular because you have much control of the action." Yeah, I would agree. Building the characters, I agree with you, Nix. I think the best way to experience it, at least for the first time, is the OG. But I'm not going to discount remake. And if somebody says to me "Oh, I'm such a Final Fantasy fan," and their first experience was remake, I'm not going to judge them for it.
I will. Because it's not technically a remake.
Nix is going to judge you guys.
And
it's not the original. It's just it's like the third or it's like the 10th part of the story. It's all just one long. And then this happened, and then this happened. Oh, and now we're back in time somehow.
I'll be right back. Keep talking. I'm gonna grab some water.
I was gonna say that with Final Fantasy VII, there are so many spin-off games, and so many that are from
movies.
Then there's so many Japanese exclusive games too, and then it's
oh my god, games. Yes.
Yeah, the mobile games.
Yeah, I played Dirge of Cerberus and I was confused.
Yeah, they have reference plots that happen in a Japanese exclusive mobile game. The character of Elena is barely in the games. So whenever she's referenced, it's always really weird.
So
I kind of forget she exists a lot of the time, and I'm like, who are you? She showed up at Advent Children, and I used to watch my
she got a name drop.
My family play. No, she appeared a very brief cameo.
I know they name dropped her. They name dropped her in the beginning because with the helicopter.
Yeah, but she appeared at nearing the end of the story of Advent Children, and I was like, "Who the hell are you?"
Yeah.
But no, I try to remember her as the blonde chick Don Canero kidnapped with Yuffie. Oh yeah, she's here too. Great, who is she? What did she do?
Yeah, when it comes to the PlayStation trilogy of Final Fantasy, this is the way I see it. FF7 is the one everyone likes. FF8's a black sheep, and then FF9 is the hipster Final Fantasy.
Oh my god, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not I don't think I'm very wrong here. It's everyone who wants to be a control oh, I don't like Final Fantasy 7. I'm a huge Final Fantasy 9 fan. That's and that's something that just kind of cropped up in the 2010s. When 2011 came, everyone all decided, "Oh, I'm a Final Fantasy 9 fan."
Yeah, that's pretty much what it was. That's all it is just being a contrarian. I mean, but here's the thing: you can like both of them. Ooh!
If you want to,
no one's ever thought of that.
A real contrarian, that's being an FF8 fan.
Yeah. Isn't the 7 remakes more of an action RPG though?
Yeah,
it is. It is.
Yeah, Yeah, I'm not saying the FF remakes are bad. I played them a little bit. I need to do like a full playthrough of them. But I do feel like FF7, the original, is probably the best way to play it.
Yeah,
They're not bad, but calling them a remake is it's kind of mischaracterizing them.
Well, take that up with Square Enix.
Yeah, I know, but like like I said, it's not a remake. It's just a continuation of the story in a weird way.
Mm-hmm.
Square, why do you hate us so?
So I feel like we've kind of like talked about Final Fantasy enough for the moment. We can always circle back to it if need be.
Yeah.
I wanted to bring up some of like the other like PlayStation RPGs the era, because like Square, like there's a reason they call this era like the Square Golden Age of RPGs. Like Xenogears, let's see here, the Saga Frontier games. Like, what are some of your other like favorite RPGs on the PlayStation? It can be Square or not.
Yeah, we also got like the Wild Arms series. Then you got like what else you got on there? You got there's always these like one and done hits too, but then you had like the
Suikoden Second Story. Suikoden.
Yep. Suikoden. Yeah,
by the way, the collection's amazing. I have it for Switch. It's great.
Yep. And then of course you had like Lunar, yeah, and that was for the you had the Sega CD versions of Lunar and Eternal Blue, and then you had like the Superstar Story Completes, which are technically not the same game. Well, they are the same game, but like there are some minor story changes in them.
What's funny is my first time playing the first Lunar game was the PSP version, was Lunar Silver Star Harmony. That was actually the first time I played that one, which is not a good way to play it because they took out the overworld.
Yeah, exactly. And then there's the Game Boy Advance game, Lunar Silver Star Story Legend, and that is basically the PS1 game completely stripped down. But
yeah, and I think Parasite Eve, that's a good one. Yeah, Legend of Dragoon is another one. Like that is a game that deserves like some sort of like remaster remake, I swear.
I will say this though, one of my favorite intros is Lunar Eternal Blue for the Sega CD, because it's all done in like in-game sprites, which is they're not like anime, they're not anime cutscenes, they're not live action, they're done in like the actual sprites. And but it's done in like a 16-bit sprite, but I love the intro to it. And there's one scene to me, I this stands out to me because the animation was so fluid, and again, you're using in-game sprites to do this. There's a one character has a premonition of the world being destroyed, and you see like these skeletal hands go over the world and like crush it, and blood comes through the fingers. Say the world's going to be destroyed and bathed in blood, but but it is the smoothest animation I have seen on a fucking 16-bit system. That I was like, oh my god, that is amazing. I was like, that almost looked like cell animation. It was so smooth. It's just like, whoa. Like it just caught me off guard, like how smooth that animation was.
Now, if I remember correctly, one of the biggest differences between the Sega CD and the PlayStation version is Luna. Because in the original version, she doesn't join you on the adventure. Like when you get on the boat, she stays there. But in the PlayStation version, she goes with you, and you get. I'm sorry, the cutscene where she's singing on the boat is so amazing. Like it's so beautiful. It's a beautiful song. It's beautifully animated. Nix, have you seen this cutscene?
No.
That was actually released in a PlayStation Underground CD demo disc, and that actually got a lot of that little cutscene that they had displayed in that disc is what a lot of people got that game for. Because once they saw that cutscene, they were like, "Holy shit, this is awesome!" Yeah, we can go ahead and play that, I guess.
I'll play a little bit of it. I don't know, like, if we'll get copyright struck for it, but, all right. But Nick,
I mean,
you've got
if it's on YouTube, it should be fine.
I mean, I've got copyright struck for YouTube before, so.
Oh, okay.
But
just type in boat scene.
all right, let me just but yeah,
boat
like
song.
yeah, I got you. All right, here we go.
To this day, I even hum that song sometimes to myself. Like I'll catch myself singing that for no reason.
All right, Nick, check this out.
Yeah, this is so iconic. This is in the middle of the game. It just happens. It cuts to this.
Really, like the first act.
Yeah. That's why I'm excited to see this in the remake.
Wishing on a dream that seems far off, hoping it will come today.
Nix, you need to play this game.
Yeah.
All right, there's a certain okay, or I think it's right about here.
Will their dreams fade to nothing when the horizon darkens most? We all need to believe there is hope. Is an angel watching closely over
I'm getting
me?
chills.
Can there be a guiding?
Nick,
Yeah.
what's your reaction?
That looks interesting.
Yeah.
Do you think you need to play this game?
I'll definitely try to get around to it.
They just released a collection for the Switch, by the way.
Yeah. Good luck finding it though. That's the thing.
Yeah,
They're
unless you buy
supposed
it
to make
digitally.
more of them. Well, you can get it digitally too. Yeah, if you want to get it physically, that's the problem. Yeah, but if you can download it, yeah, go ahead.
So Jason
but-
Ingram didn't know this. Yeah, there's so much that would ActRaiser be considered?
ActRaiser is more of a.
It's more of a city builder action. Like maybe
I-
the remake.
I
The remake
I would
incorporated
say-
more RPG elements, but
I would say it would kind of be, but to me, it's more of a strategy RPG.
yeah,
like-
honestly, if you want like an RPG city builder, Dark Cloud.
Yeah.
Nix, have you
Oh,
heard of
then
the
I-
Dark Cloud games?
No.
Okay.
No, then I guess we should get talking about like real time RPGs.
Yeah, real-time action RPGs. So, Nix, imagine this. Imagine a game that is the passionate love child of Legend of Zelda and SimCity. He's like, he is not amused.
Just a
Yeah.
herm.
Dark Cloud. You have Dark Cloud 1 and 2. It's like you basically go into dungeons and you farm loot, and then you build a town for people. It's a really interesting premise.
Yeah. ActRaiser is kind of the same thing, except like you're like a god or something.
You're
trying to,
you're God. You're basically God.
Yeah, you're trying to build like civilization, but you're also got like trying to defeat monsters and stuff. Yeah. I'll say like you got your RTSs, which are some of them RPGs.
Strategy RPGs like I would say Warcraft 1 and 2 are I wouldn't consider them RPGs. They're strictly RTS. But Warcraft 3 I think is an RPG RTS because like you have like your hero units level up, you get items, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, then that leads us right into the big one, which is the MMO RPG,
Yeah,
which what
those,
World of Warcraft would be.
World of Warcraft is an RPG. Nix, what MMOs have you played?
I played one called Onigiri at one point,
Oh, that sounds
and
familiar.
I have tried to play World of Warcraft, but I never really quite got into it.
Yeah, I've been trying to get you to play with me, and so far been unsuccessful, but it is what it is.
Yeah, people ask me, they were like, Caster, why don't you play World of Warcraft? And they're like, it seems like you would like it. And I'm like, well,
You can literally be a Death Knight and raise ghouls, bro.
yeah, I know. But like what I told people then, way back in the day, like 2003, 2004, when this came out, I told them, um, it seems cool, but it's like buying a dog. You know, if you're not going to water it and feed it and take care of it, then don't get it. And that's the thing. It's like you have to. It was something that I knew that you had to dedicate time to, and I didn't feel like dedicating all my time to just one game like that. Um, not to knock anybody who does, because that's just people who there's people who they have the time to do it. Me, I just wasn't up my alley. I just did not want to spend like all that time on that. Plus, you got to pay for a subscription fee and all that stuff.
I mean, there
That's what I'm
are
saying.
other ways, but
Yeah, I know, but I'm just saying, like, it was something. It was an investment, and I didn't want to invest in it.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
But I didn't knock it though. It wasn't like I just because like, oh yeah, I hate it. It seemed interesting, just just not my alley. But years later, I did get into TC Universe Online, which we talked about during the superhero show.
I play that from time to time.
And I played that from time to time. That's an MMO RPG. Love that.
So it's time to wake up. Says accurate is like cross between populous and insert average. Yeah, that sounds about right.
Jason Ringer says, "I just watched that song. Damn, yeah, it's a good one. Yeah, it's a very
it hits hard.
It's pretty much what sold that game because, like I said, PlayStation Underground, they sent like these demo discs in like with their games and stuff. And for those who don't know what demo discs are,
God,
for all the youngins out there, when you got a magazine, sometimes it came with a game disc that had a bunch of demos and video clips on it, and they were either small snippets of the game to play and try out, or they were game trailers, or in the case of PlayStation Underground, they actually had like little news segments that you could watch, and they would have like game news, and that's how like we got our news back then. And one of them actually was that boat scene from Lunar, and I remember seeing that and going, "Whoa!" Like just like whoa.
Let me put it this way. So, while we were waiting for Final Fantasy VII, there was a game that sold really well called Tobal Number 1. Caster knows exactly where I'm going with this.
Yep.
Caster, would you like to tell them probably the only reason why that game sold so well?
No.
It had a demo of Final Fantasy VII on it.
Oh yeah. Yep. Yeah.
That is the only reason. That is the only reason we even talk about that game now. It is like so average.
Yeah, and I actually have what is the game? Vagrant Story, right? I have Vagrant Story, which is another, that's more of a late into the PlayStation 1 life game, but it was an RPG, but it was so weird because it came in a double disc case, but it was only one disc. What was in the disc slot? Demo disc with a bunch of different it was basically advertisements.
Yeah, so, I remember Square did something similar because Dragon Quest really didn't catch on until America. up until the 2000s with Dragon Quest VIII. Like that was a
Yeah.
game that really kind of sealed the deal. Because when they released it for the PlayStation 2, I don't know if you remember this, but there was, I think, a demo for Final Fantasy 10 or 12 in it. So they did like the same thing again, except they did it with an actually good game.
Yeah. Also, what was cool is during the 90s, there you could get a there was a promotion with Pizza Hut, and you could get a demo of Final Fantasy VIII.
I remember that, and like Square would have like their own demo disc of just like the Square games. So
Mhm.
like I remember going through that, had like Final Fantasy VIII on it, Chocobo Dungeon, Chocobo Racing, because
Yep.
they're really trying to make Chocobos like a thing. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, Chocobos never really caught on too much as like a mascot character, but they had some of the stuff like so Nix, you know what a Chocobo is, right?
Yeah, of course.
Are you
Which-
familiar with any of like the spin-off games like Chocobo Dungeon or Chocobo Racing?
Yeah, I never played them.
Yeah, Chocobo Dungeon was basically like Pokemon, like it was a mystery dungeon game, like Pokemon Mystery Dungeon. But imagine this for the PS1.
hmm
It
Yeah.
doesn't sound like it would caught my interest.
Yeah, it didn't catch mine either. And then Chocobo Racing was just kind of like it was essentially a kart racer.
Yeah,
like
there's
Chocobo
Mario
stuff.
Kart, yeah, with Final Fantasy stuff, yeah. I did want to acknowledge. It's time to wake up. I want to say yes. I do remember that Tony Hawk demo disc from Pizza Hut. I think I got that. Yeah, that was. Them's was good times, my friend. Them's was good times. The PlayStation
Oh my
1
God.
era was just
I
an
don't know.
amazing time.
I don't know how many hours, because like my family was like didn't have like too much money, so I had like some demo discs. I don't know how much time I wasted on like the Tony Hawk like warehouse demo, just playing that over and over and over again. A lot of times
yeah.
I just do like the half pipe, and I just keep doing tricks with like the half pipe over and over and over again, 2 minutes at a time.
hmm Yeah, and the fact that they had like licensed music in it, it was awesome.
Oh yeah, yeah. Like, I mean, honestly, like this isn't really part of the stream. But like, Tony Hawk games really did shape the musical taste of an entire generation of people.
Oh yeah.
We should probably do an episode on like the extreme games, like skateboarding, snowboarding, and whatnot. That'd be interesting.
Didn't Metal Gear Solid demo disc sell massive copies of a Meh game too? I believe it did. I don't know what that would be.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I know you're right. I just can't remember which.
I
game.
know it came. Yeah, I know there was a demo disc in a kind of a shittier game. I can't remember what it was though.
All right. I'm looking it up right now. It was a release with the initial release of Zone of the Enders.
Okay.
Which, for what I remember, is actually not a bad game. It's another Kojima game, by the way.
Yeah.
420 friends and games of. Oh my God, Tony Hawk Horse! I remember that. Yeah. Yeah, like the Tony Hawk games had actually a really good multiplayer. So Nix, have you ever played Horse, as a kid?
No.
Okay. So basically, it's kind of a lot of times like played like at a basketball court. You'd say like, okay, I can make this shot from over here, and you go try and make the shot. If you made the shot, you're good. And the next person would do it. If they failed the shot, they got an H. And the first person to get all the letters spell horse lost the game. And I think
Well,
I
it
think
makes sense why I never played it. I'm not very big into basketball, and I had no friends.
But I think the way Tony Hawk worked, and chat or cast, correct me if I'm wrong, is a person would do a trick, and then another person would have to do a trick, and if they didn't beat the score of that trick, they got a letter. Is that what it was?
Yeah.
There was also another one where like you're essentially playing like there was a tag mini game, and there was also one where like like whenever you did a trick on something, you'd own it, like a spray paint kind of thing. And if the other person did it, they owned it. Like it was some really interesting mini games.
And but I remember when, like, because they've had this discussion about what is an RPG for the longest time. And even back in the day, like some people were saying that Metal Gear Solid was like an RPG. You know,
What?
it's just yeah, I've heard people say that too. Like Metal Gear Solid was an RPG, and I'm like, no, it's not. Because this is back when people were like when when RPGs were just getting insanely popular on the PS1. Everybody was trying to say that their shit was an RPG. So I heard people say, "Oh, Metal Gear Solid was an RPG," and I was like, "No, it's not." They're like, "Well, you're playing the role of Solid Snake," and I'm like, "It's not the same thing." It's a
Yeah,
tactical espionage.
the problem nowadays is RPG mechanics have like filtered into so many different games. Like Fortnite could be an RPG, according to some people, because it has like mechanics. Like I would say Assassin's Creed nowadays, you might make the argument for it being an action RPG, but that's about it, I'd say. Stuff like Assassin's Creed Odyssey, and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Because those, like, you get gear, you level up, like that kind of thing. I think those do qualify. What do you think, Nix?
Yeah, I could see that.
So I guess one thing I'd like to ask you guys is, what are your top 5 RPGs? Now you can rank them, or you can do in no particular order. Now this is across the entire gamut. Nix, what would you say?
I only have my top 3, and that would be Evian 2, Parasite Eve, which a lot of people give a lot of crap to the movie, even though they need to realize it wasn't based on the game, it was based on the original novel, so
I do own the novel, by the way. I've shown it on the stream.
I just think it's kind of funny. People are like, oh, this movie is nothing like the game, even though there's also the original novel. Like, obviously it would be based on the original novel and not the game.
Fun fact: the game is actually a direct sequel to the novel. Like they actually I think a few characters from the novel show up, and they do reference the events of the novel.
Yeah, but Final Fantasy VII would be my third.
Okay.
If only because I have a special attachment to it.
Yeah, the thing with Parasite Eve is, first game amazing, second game is meh. We don't talk about the third birthday.
There is no third birthday.
Like, that's what I love. It's so bad, even Square could not get called a Parasite Eve game.
Yeah, no. Oh, the cringe trauma, PTS cringe.
Yeah. Caster, what about you?
I'm gonna say in no particular order, but Final Fantasy 4, 7, and 10, Chrono Cross, and probably Lunar.
Okay. For me, there's no particular order. Golden Sun, Pokemon Silver. Let's see here. Final Fantasy 4. Let's see here. Star Ocean, First Departure for the PSP, which there is an entire there's entire segments of like RPGs we haven't talked about. And then Persona 3 Portable for the PSP. You can tell I'm a PSP fan.
Yeah.
Jason says, yeah, Parasite is an RPG. Like, honestly, I'm just going to say this. Like, I wish Square and Capcom would do a collaboration. Imagine a Parasite Eve game made using the RE engine.
That'd be kind of cool.
Just so long as they keep the character designs top tier.
Yes, I need Aya Brea to remain hot.
Yeah, essentially.
Like, can
Yeah.
you just imagine that initial scene where like the opera singer is singing, she's got those giant cans, and like everyone just starts bursting into flame. Just imagine that with modern graphics. Ooh, and like
No. Even better, imagine Aya Brea in the opera dress
Oh my god, yeah.
running through the sewers kicking ass.
yeah,
Yes.
like that
Nothing is
scene.
hotter.
Like, I'm sorry, like that scene where her date's like all complaining, and she's like, "Just get out of here!" And she like runs up there.
Gun
Yeah.
out.
Yeah.
Like you brought a gun to the opera, and like you know it's a thigh holster. You know it's a thigh holster.
Oh, hell
See, and
yeah. How else would she slipped it in?
yeah, see, that was like, early example of like bad bitch, you know.
Yeah, like I love like Aya Brea is like the character that I always prop up. Like, you can have a woman who's badass, who doesn't take no shit, but is still awesome. Because the thing about Aya is she's she's every badass we want every badass to want to be, but like there's still that kind of like womanly aspect to her, like the mother aspects, the feminine aspects to her that like even guys can relate to, you know?
Well, not
Yeah.
only that, but she actually was allowed to be vulnerable in certain scenes, especially with her partner.
Yes, I
Her
always
Yeah.
police partner, I mean.
who is
Yeah.
totally not based off of Danny Glover from Lethal Weapon.
Totally not.
And it was kind of unique that Parasite Eve, it was very unique in the sense that, one, it wasn't your classical RPG like in a medieval fantasy setting. It was actually in real time, and also it
Guns,
didn't
lots of guns.
guns, and it didn't take place in like New York or Japan. It took place in like New York City, so it
Yeah,
just it was kind of like almost like an anti RPG in
yeah,
like
like
settings and stuff.
it
It
had
was
like a prototype. What's funny is it had a prototype Vagrant story system, like
Mhm.
where like you run like because like you run around, and once the meter fills up, you have like this kind of like semi spear that opens up. Like anyone who played Vagrant Story, as soon as they see that spear, they're like, okay, that's where Vagrant Story got it from. Um, and
Mhm.
like you have magical powers, you have your parasite powers, but you also have like the guns, like your pistol, your shotgun, and they all have different attributes.
Yeah,
It's a really, really interesting game.
and you do get like a magic system too, like but it's like but it's in this one it's like psychic powers instead of like magic,
But it works like magic anyway.
but
It
it
works
works.
like
It
magic.
works. Yeah, it works. It works the same damn way. You get MP and all that,
Yeah,
but
honestly, the only time I used the parasite powers was really to heal myself, and like I know, like later on in the game, you get like this giant beam you could do, but I just used it to heal myself, honestly.
yeah. And interesting enough though, it's also like again, also like not really in a fantasy setting. This is more of like a RPG horror game,
Hmm.
which was kind of like, again, this was kind of like breaking a lot of boundaries and kind of like breaking a lot of molds for the time.
Yeah, like Parasite Eve is definitely Square Enix's answer to Resident Evil, but they did it in kind of like a squarish way. And I like it.
Oh
Like this
yeah,
game only came out because of Resident Evil 2. Like that's the only reason they made this game.
Can I just say that the only reason I even know about Parasite Eve is because of the Sphere Hunter? Like, if it wasn't for Susie, I'd never have heard about this game. And she calls her Aya Brea too. Everyone else I've ever heard talk about the game calls her Aya Brea. And
I've called
it
her.
sounds so wrong.
I've called it like I've always called her Aya Brea. Like I don't get it.
It just sounds better. It sounds right. I don't know how to explain it, but then I hear a bunch of big YouTubers like, "Oh yeah, Aya Brea," and I'm like, "There's an A at the end of that."
Yeah, like oh my god, like I've always heard it pronounced. I think I got like turned on to Parasite Eve by a YouTuber, but this is like back in like 2011, 2012. I first heard about it, and then I got the game from there. And they were calling it Aya Brea even back then. I don't understand it.
hmm
Like I think I watched like a Stop Skeletons from Skyding video where he was like doing a review of Third Birthday, he was happy console gamer, happy video game nerd at that point, still back then. But like, oh god, he eviscerated it. But yeah, Parasite Eve is a great game, and it's one of those games where it's like I want a remake, and it's like you post about it, and then you inevitably get the comment where someone says, "Yeah, but are you sure you want it with today's politics?"
No, I don't.
and
I really don't.
Congratulations, Aya is now a fat black woman.
No.
No. She's still a white woman, but she has a her partner is a effeminate gay black man.
No. I loved her part. I don't even remember his name, but I loved her partner. I loved that he was like a concerned dad, and his like dad attitude didn't just extend to
the one black guy who was a good dad. You're gonna get rid of the one black guy who was a good dad.
Right?
Well,
he was a father figure to Aya too, and it was really sweet to see their interactions.
Well,
Take it away. I'd have to kill someone.
He could still be a dad. He could adopt it, you know.
Ew. I mean, no. You know what? I have nothing wrong with adopted kids. That's a horrible statement. But like taking away that bond that they had, it like Aya was already kind of his adopted kid, even if she was much older than his actual kid.
Yeah.
I don't know. It just.
But yes, like also I want to talk about like we're kind of forgetting about another huge franchise.
Oh,
and
before you do that, before
Yeah.
you go there, we got to catch up with some comments. Sorry.
Right.
Yeah, sorry, we'll get to that. It's just, look, Aya is from the U.S. She isn't carrying a gun. There is a problem. To be fair, it's New York, U.S. So, like, there's a little kind of,
Back
stipulation.
in the 90s.
Well, that and she's also a cop.
Yeah. So yeah, she gets some special privileges. Wasn't Sweet Home a survival horror RPG? Resident Evil? Yes, actually. Yes. Nix, are you familiar with Sweet Home?
Very vaguely.
There is a fan translation you can get online. Music is amazing. It is the inspiration for Resident Evil. And it's also based off a Japanese horror movie. And then Jason Ingram says, I've always said Aya. The A at the end isn't silent. I work in instructed languages, so the A isn't a sound position. Thank you, Jason. Thank you. We got Angelus. Hey, Angelus, how you doing? Just doing in. For me to answer your topic, I feel the broader RPG system, the good ones, put the player front and center, whether the MC is created or predetermined. Yep, fair enough. Then we got Insomniac here. Hey. Angelus says, oh god. Player feels like grow as the game was on. Every achievement boss fight has a little more meaning the more difficult it is. And then Jason said, Aya in game is half Asian, so if you change the oh god, it's another layer for it.
Yeah.
No, she's gonna be full on Asian.
I'm okay with that.
She's gonna be half black, half Asian. There we go.
She's no,
Asian.
and the actress who's gonna voice her is Aquafina.
No.
Yes, Aquafina, and just have her just say awkward, stupid shit.
I'm leaving.
Entire time.
Okay, Casper, what were you gonna say?
I was gonna say if we're gonna talk about RPGs, we gotta talk about like one of the big ones, and probably one I should say it's on my list of games that I love is the Elder Scrolls series, and specifically Skyrim for me. But the Elder Scrolls series is a huge RPG series.
Yeah, Elder Scrolls is great. I like Skyrim. Like, the thing I love about Skyrim is the game itself is pretty decent. Obviously, you got your mods, but the thing for me is everyone has like a Skyrim story. Like, I was trying to pickpocket this guard, then he saw me, and I got into a fight, and then a dragon just came in. Like those kind of things.
Yeah.
I just love like people telling their Skyrim stories, and it's like all the random crap that happened. Oh god, I love it.
Yeah, by the time like my beloved my beloved follower, I didn't want to sacrifice her to Boethia, so I got me a random mercenary, hired them, and sacrificed them because you had to sacrifice your companion to do this quest. And so I sacrificed some random person, but I told my I think it was I think her name's Ileana or something like that. I don't know. Anyways, um, or was it Lilith? I think it's Lilith. Anyways, she's a dark elf from
Serana is the best. Serana's the
yeah,
best.
she's a dark elf from like Whiterun, and she's morally ambiguous, so you can play her, play with a good character, evil character, doesn't matter. Um, but anyways, loved her because she's good for stealth and everything, and I think she's also an essential character, so she can't die. But anyways, I told
Is
her to
that
go
the
back
one you had to
home.
beat in a fist fight?
No. So I told her, no, you just hire her. If you got 500 gold, bam, she's yours. Um, so she is a mercenary, but I just hired another mercenary, and I loved her because she's awesome. A really awesome to me, companion. Anyways, didn't want to sacrifice her. Sent her home, and she's supposed to go back to the bar that you find her at.
Yeah.
Well, could not find her. Went back, she wasn't there. So I was like, okay, what happened to her? So I was like, looked all over, could not find her. And the Boethia thing is right near is it Winterfell?
Winterhold?
Winterhold, yeah, I'm getting my yeah, Winterfell. It's near Winterhold.
Yeah,
And,
where the enemy faction is, not the Imperials, but the other one, the Stormcloak thing.
Yeah, Stormcloak, yes, we're all for exact. But anyways, it's near Winterhold where you do the Boethia quest, where you initiate it. Anyways, so I was like, okay, I looked all over for her, could not find her. And I looked online and it said sometimes they do glitch out, sometimes you have to restart your game and did all that kind of crap, all that technical crap. Then one person said is they may be walking, they do actually walk real time to their destination. So I said, okay. So I put a marker from Winterhold to Whiterun, and I used the clairvoyance spell because it says the clairvoyance spell will, if you do from point to point, they'll walk where they'll walk the way the clairvoyance spell. Well, the clairvoyance spell will show you where NPCs will go. So I sat there and I followed the clairvoyance spell all the way out to Whiterun. Walked the entire time there. So that took forever. Then I said, screw it, got on my horse and went back the other way, tried to do it, could not find her. So kept playing the game, left it for a while, came back to it about a few months later. So it's been a year since I created this character. Come back, played it, randomly got caught stealing in Winterhold. The guards were chasing after me. I stopped to fight a couple of them. All of a sudden, out of nowhere, here comes Lilith. Die, scum! Comes running out, starts gutting fucking guards and everything, and I'm just standing there going, where have you been? Where have you been? She had just glitched into a wall, basically. And when things got aggro, she jumped out. But for some reason, she was glitched into the wall at Whiterun. I don't know why, or Winterhold. I have no idea why. But she just jumped out and started. And I was like, "Oh my god!" I almost cried because I was like, "I've been looking for you for a year. Where
See,
have
this
you
is why
been?"
console commands in Skyrim are great because you can teleport to your companion if you know their ID, or you can have your companion teleport to you. But I have a similar story. So I was out adventuring with Lydia. Okay, Lydia. She is the worst character to have if you're a sneaker. It's all right.
Oh yeah.
All right, I'm a stealth archer. I'm doing stealth archer stuff. I'm lining up the shot. Skyrim belongs to the Nords, and she just storms past. She's like, God damn it, Lydia!
Leroy Jenkins.
But no, that's not my story. So I let her go at some point. She was walking back to her where, And like I couldn't find her because usually she either responds at Breeze home in Whiterun or at the Dragon Reach. So I was doing adventuring. So I went to Solitude for some reason. And I was walking past the inn. And who would be standing there? Would be Lydia. And she's like holding a mug and she's like doing like a dance. Like she's like, oh, I'm getting so drunk. You know. I am like, how did this happen? Like, what game fuckery had to happen in the logic where she just walked to Solitude and be like, you know what? I need a vacation. I'm just gonna go to Solitude and get fucking wasted for weekend. Like, this happened this happened for like 3 or 4 times. I just keep walking past her. Eventually, she just like stopped and like went back to Dragon's Reach. I'm like, okay, I guess your vacation's done. Oh, next we're gonna say
Skyrim screw ups.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I love these Skyrim stories. She is your saving grace, and then Serana. She's the best. Nix, who is your favorite NPC in Skyrim?
There we go. I got booted out.
Oh no.
Yeah, just randomly booted me out of the chat. Okay.
Oh,
Happens to me sometimes. But I don't know. I don't really get too attached to the NPCs in Skyrim. I find that there isn't really a whole lot to get attached to. You know, it's all
Yeah.
Unless it's Serana.
Yeah, but even then, I mean, you can't even marry her without mods. It's kind of a.
I think
that's the thing I like about mods is that you can actually make really good characters, and I think with like AI now, I think you could make like really good realistic characters.
Yeah.
Yeah, like with text to speech and just that would be interesting, honestly.
Like you could actually have a follower that actually like learns and grows like with you, and they know your play styles, your taste, your stuff like that, and may even generate new like dialogue text in certain situations, instead of saying the
Nick,
same 5 lines.
Imagine you have a follower in Skyrim that's literally just Joseph Joestar, but it has like an AI voice, so you can actually talk to Jojo.
Yeah, I've seen the AI voice mods actually. Kobe Kevin did a video on it, and it just made me laugh. The things he gaslit the AI into gaslighting him, into him gaslighting it back, and it was just so off the walls. He started talking to people about doing some kind of game show. He got the AIs to sing and hum.
Oh wow!
And the song wasn't even that bad. It was actually kind of pretty good.
So Serana, Tifa, and Panam equal best girls. Yes. See, I'm just kind of waiting. I feel like the Mega Man. Yep. I was waiting for that one. Pence best girl. I was waiting for that one. I'm kind of waiting for the inevitable Mega Man Battle Network future. Like, I want my Net Navi. Nix's Net Navi is literally just going to be JoJo.
She's gonna have a chibi Jotaro.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
And she just talks to JoJo all day.
And it's time to wake up, says Pence is best girl. Yeah, but he's not here.
Yes, he's not here to confirm his divinity. We just got Caster. We got discount Pence here.
Yeah.
So that does kind of bring up an interesting question, like video game waifus when it comes to RPGs, strictly RPGs. And Nyx, for your persuasion, the male equivalent, or you can do females if you want. That's okay too.
I was gonna say Tifa all the way.
All right. If you couldn't pick Tifa, who would you pick instead?
Maybe Aerith, I guess. I like her design. It's cute, and I like her personality. I like that her and Tifa kind of have sort of an opposites kind of thing. Like Tifa dresses in what many would consider a more slutty kind of manner, but she's very shy and she's like very nurturing and quiet.
But she has like that after thing where she like just arches her back. Like the devs knew what they were doing.
Yeah, but then you have Eris, who is more of the traditional looking, quiet, shy, motherly type, and she kind of is at times, but I'd say she's the more outspoken of the two.
Yeah, she's definitely outgoing.
Oh
And
yeah,
the
she's
thing that I really like about the games is it would be so easy to like pit them against each other, vying for Cloud's affection, but they're actually more like just best friends. And I think this is another thing like the remake really fleshed out is
they're
Yeah.
just how
besties.
much. Yeah, like obviously I think they both realize they're kind of vying for his attention a little bit, but they kind of turn it into a game a little bit in like, oh, let's try and make him awkward, let's try and make him blush, whatever.
Yeah, like when you know, from eventually kills Eric. Yeah, uh, T- Tifa does like rub her cheek or hold her face a little bit, tender manner. So like, there's definitely like action between them. They weren't really at odds with each other.
Well, not only that, in Advent Children, when
Hello.
they start wearing ribbons to represent Eris after her death, you see Tifa is proudly displayed right there on her arm, out in the open.
Yeah, same
Uh
thing
oh.
with and also we're talking about Evan Children. Can I also like just say like Rachel Lee Cook did an amazing job with the voice of Tifa. I really liked her how she did that.
Oh, she was perfect. Caster's back.
Yeah, that's why
Yes.
I keep getting kicked out. It keeps losing connection. I was gonna say because even when Eris died, Tifa went over and stroked her face tenderly. So there was a love between them. Like they were friends.
They were like
They
sisters,
yeah, let's
essentially.
say yeah, say yeah, they weren't
Mhm.
really antagonists to each other. They actually liked each other. You know.
Yeah, which
Um,
it's definitely a subversion of expectations, especially for the late '90s.
Well, especially because a lot of media, when they have two people interested in someone else, like it could be male, two guys fighting over a girl, two girls fighting over a dude. They tend to have them be like worst enemies or like rivals and on bad terms. And it's like chill. It's just a dude or it's just a chick. Like it's not the end of the world if you don't get to be with this one person. It feels like it at times, sure, but there are billions upon billions of fish in the sea.
Yes, yes,
did you
indeed.
know that during Final Fantasy X, when you're playing as Titus, um, I believe it's during his ultimate, like where like somebody throws him a blitz ball. I forget. I think it's what it is, isn't it? Like somebody throws him off screen, throws something. But anyways, depending on which female you've had the most interaction with, that's who throws you like the thing to you.
Hmm.
So for a lot of people, it would be Yuna, but for me, it's always Lulu.
I mean, it's not her fault. She has great tits and the right opinions.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Lulu's pretty great. I like Riku though. I think the best. I think she's cute.
Yeah,
yeah,
Lulu is kind of she comes from like the Tifa mold because like you think from her design like, oh, she's got her cleavage out, she's dressed all like gothy, but she is the mother of the group, and
She really
also
is.
she's the
and
big sister.
she's the one who's always calling people out. Like I might not be attracted to like, I mean, she's physically attractive, but like I respect the hell out of Lulu. Like she's the one like, okay, I'll do what you say.
Yeah, and there was a thing. I think there was like a thing where like some people were saying that like her and Waka had like a thing, but they were
I could
really
see
like
it.
but they were really both of them were like the big brother and big sister of the group.
I don't know, like Waka and Lulu, they kind of strike me as a couple to where, like, out in public they're arguing and like you think they're the worst of enemies, but like once they get behind closed doors, they just tear each other's clothes off. I don't know.
Wasn't she also at one point romantically involved with his brother? 'Cause I'm pretty sure I heard that somewhere.
She is the Mama Moogle, if you get my joke. But yeah, Lulu's definitely a mama bear, especially when it comes to like stuff with Yuna.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, I need to play more of it because, like to me, like one of the most beautiful cutscenes in gaming is like when they're in the pond and like they have like their first kiss. It's just so beautifully done. You guys know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like okay, is it Titus or Titus? Well, let's we have like that debate again. I don't want to say the wrong pronunciation, so tell me which one it is, and I'll go with that one. It's my time. I would add Claire to my Jill sandwich. Oh, God, Nix, please bonk him, please.
I can't.
But I feel like Titus and Yuna is probably one of the best stories. I love stories in gaming. What do you think? Nix?
I think it. I mean, awkward laugh aside, when you figure out the context of why it's there, yeah, and it's
a
sad,
nice slow
too.
burn. It's a nice slow burn. That's what I like about it.
Yeah, I think it's probably one of the better slow burns in any bit of media, but also the sequel kind of oof, ow, poor Yuna.
Isn't like the secret ending where he comes back or something?
I have no idea. I haven't heard anything about a secret ending.
Yeah, I sort of like there's a secret ending where Titus gets revived or something. I don't know. But yeah, like that's kind of the thing about RPGs is they have these stories that like tend to stick with you. Like the stories, the characters, the songs. Like they were doing like the cinematic storytelling thing decades before you had shit like Uncharted and Last of Us. Like there are moments in like Final Fantasy VI, Final Fantasy IV, other types of games that like hit you harder than any game that like Santa Monica Studios could ever hope to produce.
Yeah.
Yeah, Final Fantasy IV actually starts the SNES version actually starts off with like just unskippable cutscenes.
I mean, how Final Fantasy VI
setting the story,
Yeah, Final Fantasy VI has like a full-on credit sequence where they're just marching through the snow, and that goes on for like 5 minutes.
Yeah. Oh, and to answer your question, Nick, yes, she was in love with Wakka's brother, but he died before the story. Yeah, he died before the story started.
Yeah, I knew that because it was something to do with Riku's people. I'm pretty sure, and that's why Wakka is racist.
Yeah,
that's not even a joke. He is actually like legit racist.
Oh my god! And then Jason says, "If you don't cry, I cry when Aerith deserves to die."
Dude, that actually hit me to my core when that first happened, and
Yeah.
I just had to turn it off and like just go for a walk. It's like
I mean,
oh my God.
I was doing a playthrough of it on this channel a few months ago, and like we got to that part, and like I knew it was happening, and it still hit. Like I knew it was coming. I knew exactly what was coming, and it still destroyed me. You were there, Nix. You remember that? Yeah.
Yeah.
Because like to me, it's like she slumps over, and then like the materia drops. And then you hear her like it just because you hear like everything goes silent, and then like you hear like ting,
and it's brilliantly done because like they're still playing her music, and you're still like in this state of shock, but there's a boss fight to happen, and so
Yeah.
you're kind of like, it's one of the more emotionally charged fights because you're trying to like, you've just been hit with a sucker punch in the story, and you're trying to also fight a boss at the same time, you know. So you're kind of like, it kind of messes with your you gotta get your head in the game and focus, you know, and then grieve afterwards. But
Yeah.
so to me, that was
I'm
brilliant.
still grieving her in Advent Children. He had a boss fight right after. He didn't get
Yeah.
time to process any of that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And it's a pretty tricky boss fight too. It's actually I oh god, no. Nick is a ginger. He has no soul by default. I resemble that remark, sir. I had to go on an epic quest to get my soul. I earned it, okay? But like probably like one of the deaths that hit me hard, and this is a spoiler for FF4. So while I have this fist up, you might want to mute up. When the fist goes down, that's when your chance to mute. Okay. So in Final Fantasy IV, you're trying to escape from this, and you have like these twin mages, Palmen and Porum. Okay. And so Caster knows. And so you get to this room, and like the walls kind of start closing in, kind of like Star Wars: A New Hope. And so the twins, who at this point had been like semi-annoying, like they were good to you, but like they're kind of annoying. They sacrifice themselves. They turn themselves to stone in order to stop it. And that hit me hard.
Yeah, that was that. Yeah, I totally forgot about that. He said the twins. I was like, oh my god, because they were actually decently strong when you get them.
Yeah, they were annoying, but it's like when they die, it's like, oh my god, I feel terrible now.
Oh, I know. Yeah, because they like just like almost like as not even like they don't even think about it. They're just like, hey, run, and we'll hold it for you. Like it's just they immediately do that, and they're okay with their like their fate basically. But yeah, when they cast themselves to stone to like basically hold the walls open, I was just like, oh my god. Like, yeah, I didn't realize that was going to hit me that hard, but yeah, I was like, oh my god. It was such a good like story moment.
All right,
They hit you right in the feels.
Also, Nick, just so you're aware, Final Fantasy IV is where we got you, Spoony Bard.
Oh, and I was going to say also in fact, we say the twins, but we haven't said like they're like only 10. So like they're children too. Then they sacrifice themselves. So that like double hurts.
Yeah.
Pain.
You really should play Final Fantasy IV, Nick. I think you'd love it. I think you would really enjoy it.
I might get around to it someday.
Yeah.
That's what I say with my entire backlog. Someday.
Yeah, that's the thing. And then and obviously with Final Fantasy VIII, I'm not gonna lie, I would really like my first dance with my wife to be a recreation of Waltz for the Moon. So
Lame.
Nick, are you familiar with like the Waltz for the Moon scene?
I don't think so.
So it's from pretty early on in Final Fantasy VIII. Oh god, like I actually would like to name, like, if I have a daughter, I would love to name her Riona. Like I freaking love this game. This will get us copyright strike, but I'm at least like trying to get us to the cutscene. There we go.
Oh, this. Yeah, I've seen this. You said 4. This is 8.
Yeah, this is 8. I love this cutscene. Yeah.
Poor Squall,
So-
he's such an awkward dork.
Yeah, I love it. I think it was like he's actually based off of River Phoenix, from what I recall.
My boy has 2 left feet.
So, don't like Nix. If you ever get like an invite to my wedding, don't be surprised if me and my future wife actually do like a full recreation of the scene.
All right, so it's time to wake up. Says, I didn't shed a tear when Bambi's mom died, but 7-year-old me struggled to hold back the tears in the theater when Optimus Prime was mercilessly slaughtered to sell new toys. Yep,
Well,
me too.
Time
Me
to
too.
process Bambi's mom dying. They immediately play a happy scene after of like little birds chirping and
That is
happy
such a
music.
whiplash. It's such an emotional whiplash.
Bam! Mom? La, 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 la.
If we're gonna talk about like childhood trauma, like honestly, one of the things in like that even to this day, if I watch it, I'll tear up. Bye Bye Butterfree from Pokemon Indigo League. Like, oh my god. Oh god, I'm like getting misty eyed thinking about it. Like, just that is like a trigger for me to cry. Like, if I like just that scene of him letting go with Butterfree, because like that was like it's like oh god, sorry. I'm getting emotional just talking about it. I'm sorry. All right, change the topic. Somebody just pick something else. Oh god. Persona. Who here has played Persona?
I have
haven't
not.
played it, but I hear everything about Persona ever because I have.
Nix, you would love Persona.
Love
I am telling you right now, you would love Persona. Knowing what I know of you, you would love the games. Like, I am tempted to gift you one of the Persona games for Switch just to get you to play it.
That'd probably work better if my Switch didn't currently hate me.
That is true. But like some other RPG series, who here has played the Tales games?
I have not.
did.
I have not, but I've heard of them.
I played Tales of Symphonia. My older brother
Same.
played another Tales game. He also played Tales of Symphonia. Actually, it would be wrong to say I ever played it. I played like the sequel to Tales of Symphonia.
Dawn of a New World.
I think so. I was really young at the time.
That was for
and
the Wii.
Yes. I couldn't get past a certain point. I'd go into this little temple thing that I was supposed to go to, and then I couldn't figure out what to do next, so I kind of just left. Stopped playing. It was a friend's game. So I was like, you know what? I don't have to put myself through this hell.
Tales of Symphonia is like a really interesting game because like it plays with the whole like Chosen One kind of narrative, like the stuff with Colette. Also, this is what I got. This is Tales of Symphonia and Dawn of the New World, a single collection. Yeah, that's what I got. But yeah, and it deals like a lot like so basically like the first like third half of Tales of Symphonia, you're going on this journey because Colette is like the chosen one, and she's supposed to like become like an angel. And it turns out they're just draining her and they're using her for like a world-ending prophecy. The angel, like this is one of the few times where like where they do a religion bad, angels evil plot, and it actually kind of works, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Because like that twist, where like it's like put it on its head is so well done. Because it comes out of nowhere, and it works. Yeah, Tales of Symphonia is a good one.
I like the sequel has to like it forces her to like also people confront her about the decisions she make and how a lot of people died because of her or because of things that weren't really in her control, but they wouldn't know that. How would they know that?
Mm-hmm. I mean, for me, the thing that like attracted me to the game was, for one, the amazing music of Tales of Symphonia. Like, I'm just saying this right now, some of the best battle themes I've ever heard are from Tales of Symphonia. Moitoi Sakuraba is probably one of my favorite video game composers. But really, the big thing was the voice of Lloyd was Scott Melville. You want to know what he's most famous for playing?
What?
Titans, go!
Oh yeah!
The voice of Robin.
Oh my
The voice
god!
of Robin is Lloyd in this one.
The best Robin.
Yeah, well, yeah, the best Robin. So like having
the society.
yeah, me being like a massive Teen Titans fan and having Robin be the voice, like, oh man, it's cool, you know. And he's using the Robin voice. He's just using the Robin voice anyway. Which is funny because Scott doesn't naturally sound like that. Like, that's not his actual natural speaking voice. You actually like hear him talk. He doesn't sound like Robin. So
Yeah,
he made a choice to use his Robin voice. It's just so funny.
It's the most popular voice he had, probably. But I wanted to say, too, Tales of Symphonia 2, that twist with Emil, the player character, I still, to this day, don't know if I like it or not.
Mm-hmm.
I won't spoil it for anyone who wants to play it, even though it's pretty old, but, like...
Spoilers for an almost 20-year-old game.
Yeah, basically, but no, I won't do that. But, like, I'm not sure if I like it or not. And I'm like, you know what, I'm going to give myself time to think about it. Even now, thinking about it, I'm still like, I'll think about it more tomorrow.
Yeah, and
like, I'll admit, I didn't see it coming, so it was pretty good on that.
And that's great. Like, I love those twists in games. I love it when like the rug pull moments. And that's what I love about Tales of Symphonia. It's a very well written game. It covers a lot of topics, and it goes dark. Like, they literally have you literally invade concentration camps. I probably shouldn't say that on YouTube, but you literally do. There are camps in the game you go to.
Yeah.
Caster, have you played Tales of Symphonia?
No, I've not played any of the Tales games, no.
You need to. They're really good. Nix, have you played any of the Star Ocean games?
No.
I've played Star Ocean First Departure on the PSP, which is like a very well done remake of the first game, which is on the Super Nintendo. They have a remake that came out recently for like modern consoles of the second game that I need to get. It looks beautiful. They went full 2D HD on it.
Oh yeah, speaking of which, when's Dragon Warrior 2 coming out?
They're
already out.
They're doing Dragon Quest 1 and 2. I think that's coming out later this year.
But they've already done the other one, right?
The third one, yes, which is, by the way, really well done.
Okay. I know you were playing one of them.
Yeah, I was playing Dragon Quest 3, which is really good. And I've still been playing it off and on. I'm kind of stuck at the pyramid, but I've just been like grinding, which is what you do when you're stuck in a Dragon Quest game. You just keep grinding.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
I gotta say, this is kind of one of the things I'm looking forward to with the Switch is like a lot of the games becoming cheaper. Like they recently released a new version of Octopath Traveler 1 and 2, which has like both games on the cart. I actually might pick that up because I never.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it's like $60, but that just means both of them are $30, which that's fair.
Yeah. I love how they are bundling some of the games together. Like, there's like Final Fantasy 7 and 8 bundled together. Then of course you have the repixeled Master Collection. And that's one thing I think is pretty cool is aside from Final Fantasy 11, you can get every single Final Fantasy game up to 12 on the Switch.
That's pretty cool.
Yep.
Because they do have like the 12 remake And then they have Final Fantasy X and X-2 on there also.
7, 8, 9 are there.
Yep, 7, 8, 9
Yes.
are on there, and 10 and 10-2 and 12, and then of course you have 1 through 6 on the Pixel Remastered. So, yeah. So if you're a Final Fantasy fan, you're eating good.
Oh, definitely.
Now we just need a Chrono Trigger.
Yeah, it's kind
remake.
of weird. Like they haven't touched Chrono Trigger in a while. Like they did Chrono Cross, that was cool. Like I think the only way to buy Chrono Trigger now, like they have it for PC. The PC version is not bad. Like I play the PC version. They've come a long way. I don't think it's available on like Xbox or PlayStation.
No.
The other game that definitely needs a like a modern re-release is Castlevania Symphony of the Night.
Yeah.
That's one of those games that are like it's a really freaking like popular game. The last time it was re-released was like Konami did the Castlevania Requiem collection, which was just like a re-release of Dracula X Chronicles, which had Dracula X Chronicles and Symphony of the Night on it, which was for the PSP. On PS4, this was just like, oh, Castlevania Netflix is really popular. We need something. All right, let's just shit that out, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And it was like a Sony exclusive too, which is really weird. Chrono Trigger is in a copyright nightmare. I am not aware of that. I've never heard of that. You guys heard of that?
No, I have not.
No.
It might be because I know like there's some games that have like songs that are very similar. Like for example, Robo Theme sounds almost exactly like Never Gonna Give You Up. I know Earthbound has a similar problem, but it never really like they released those games as far as placing music. So I don't know.
Yeah, we talked about before, and also the like I think during the Sonic one, I mentioned that Sonic on the Game Gear has there's a track on there that sounds like something from Janet Jackson.
Oh yeah, like that era of Sonic and like the whole Jackson stuff. Like that's why for the Sonic Origins collection they switched out the music because like they've gone back and forth. Because like originally it's like, oh, Michael Jackson never did the music, and like after he died, they kind of soft confirmed it. Now it's like, oh no, he didn't, but his collaborators did. Like we like it's a fact. Michael Jackson's collaborators did work on the Sonic 3 soundtrack. The guy who did Dragon Ball, yeah, Akira Toriyama did the character designs. Not for decades. I don't know about decades because we've gotten a bunch of Chrono Trigger releases. Like we got the DS release, which was really good. It was released on mobile phones. The PC release.
It's you can get it. Yeah, you can get it on the App Store. And it's but I would say the DS version to me is the definitive version.
Only if you're playing it on the DS. That's my thing because the whole dual screen stuff is really awkward if you're not playing it on a DS.
I still think it's the best way to play it.
I think the PC version is pretty good, but this just might be an if and or. I'm looking at the Wikipedia right now. That was released for Apple TV. That's interesting.
Wow.
Yeah, Super Nintendo, PlayStation, Nintendo DS, iMode, iOS, Android, Windows, Apple TV. So, yeah, it hasn't had a modern re-release in a while. That is crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they're probably going to do something with Chrono Trigger at some point. It just begs for 2D HD release, in my opinion.
Yeah. That would be amazing.
I want to touch upon that. So, we've seen a harass of 2D HD, and I just gotta say, I am in love with the style. I think it's just gorgeous. I think it's the perfect way to take a lot of these 2D games, and you want to bring them into a more modern standard while still preserving the essence of the game. I think it's
absolutely
great. I love it. honestly just injecting in my veins. Just give me more.
Like Dragon Warrior 3 looks absolutely just beautiful.
It really does. Oh my god, man. And like yeah, let me just let me show you some stuff from Star Ocean where they're doing like a very like 2D HD-esque style.
Two-world ocean game, complete with new graphics that fuse 2D and 3D.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Adorable.
Like, isn't that like that just looks amazing. Yeah, and Star
Tiny sprites are very cute.
Yeah, and Star Ocean is like one of these games where they like mix sci-fi and fantasy, and I think it's pretty interesting.
That's a hard thing for media to do correctly. I feel
Yeah.
like.
As a person who wrote a sci-fi fantasy novel, yes, it is a tightrope to walk. But yeah, and so you can get Star Ocean 1 on modern consoles, but it's just a port of the PSP version, which, to be fair, is not the worst thing ever. Yeah, it doesn't look too bad, does it?
Oh, that looks good.
Yeah, this is essentially a direct port of the PSP version.
Was that a remake or?
Yeah, it's a remake. The remake they originally did for the PSP. But it still looks really good, honestly. Yeah, we should let's see here. Modern Fantasy is just as bad. That's because all the garbage. Yeah, I will say if you're sick of like Modern Fantasy slop, I look forward to Lost Kingdom, which is coming out this August from a Phoenix Press. If you've got your beta copies, remember they are due May 16th. And then from there, we're going to work on a third draft, kind of fix some stuff you suggested, add the glossary, and we'll should be shipping them out in August. That's the plan.
Mm-hmm.
So let's kind of.
I thought you were going to say if you hate Modern Fantasy, go back and play some of these RPGs.
I mean that also works. Not gonna lie.
Or
I'm getting the link. I literally Nix. I was literally grabbing the link. All right, Nix. I think you have something you want to tell people.
if you are sick of modern politics coming into your fantasy worlds, then boy, do I have. God, I've never had to shell before. This is kind of awkward, but bear with me.
You got this, Nix. You got this.
The TLDR is I made a game. A fantasy game, a fantasy RPG game, if you will. So far, it's going by the working title of Generic Adventure Game, but it's anything but generic, at least in my opinion. I don't know. It's my baby right now. I'm pretty biased.
Yeah, she's pretty biased.
All right, what is the overall, like, not all the nitty gritty, but what's the basic story?
The TLDR of the story is a young girl from a village awakens some ancient magical power and now has to stop the rise of the Demon King. See? Very generic.
All right, there we go. I mean, hell, that you've just described like
It's
half the RGPs made last year in Japan.
Yeah, we even start our first quest is killing rats in some dude's house.
Exactly. I mean, you've described like every isekai in the past 10 years.
All I could really think was, honestly, well, because I see why a lot of games do rats first. It's because, yeah, that's going to change. I'm going to talk to Lost Lenore about doing some fantasy-styled artwork
Yeah, that's a good pick. So, so I'm playing a game right now. And Nix, would you like to commentate?
So all of this is kind of not reworked, but I'm definitely adding in like cutscenes and stuff. And there's all oh no, try to go out the door first. God man, so picky.
All right, fine. I'll
But
reset it.
I I went out of my way to add like because me and my aunt used to play Avion 2 a lot. Not just the second one, but she played a lot of them. She's the one who got me into Avion actually in the first place. And her and I were talking about it, and I said that I want to make a lot of the environments interactable, like items you see and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
So, because she and I agreed, that's something that we find interesting. See, so you can't just. Oh, that's a bit of a bug. Yeah, it's okay. So the majority of my time spent on this game comes from the fact that the comes from me at like 2 in the morning, dead, half asleep. So there's going to be some bugs,
Yes.
but there's a reason that it's just a demo so far.
I can tell because you probably have the trigger plate right here, and you didn't account for people just continue walking.
Well, it's not. It's supposed to stop them, but yes.
Okay.
Now, I have a suggestion here. So Nyx here has the Kofi, okay, and
Yeah.
what you could do to make this better is donate to her Kofi, so she can buy music packs.
You know, that would be cool if I had a link to share.
Yeah.
I would be more than happy to drop it in the chat. I just don't have a link to share, so if it just magically appears in the private chat, I'll share it.
Yeah.
I have to log into my Kofi. I haven't been on Kofi in so long.
Or if you,
working away
or
at
you
it.
can or you know what you could do, you could drop your Steam link and they could just gift you it on Steam.
Yeah. Yeah, that
You
works
do that
too.
too. That way you could like, make it better cuz like cuz she's using like the music packs that they have
The music, the
so
tile packs.
yeah, everything here a lot better and use like, more advanced stuff. Yeah. Because,
One thing I will say,
you,
like when
you make
I
it
played
better.
the original
Yeah,
version,
definitely.
all right, Nyx used her mod powers to drop the link.
Hooray.
Yes. Oh, the frick? Oh, okay.
Go ahead and wander around the village a little.
Oh, I was doing the quest. Okay, I can do that.
Certain
this
houses.
this looks like your typical like Super Nintendo RPG. Yeah.
A girl.
But yeah, no, my brother. You can interact with that. Yeah.
I found that one out. She saw a pretty rock.
See, and for those in the audience, you have to understand, we hadn't seen Nyx for like ever. She was like a hermit.
Yeah.
So this
I was
is yeah. So this is all new to us, seeing the fruits of her labor.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh
She
wow,
you abandoned us.
I was like, wow, she really was doing stuff. She wasn't just lazing about. She actually did something.
Yeah. No, I.
Oh, I'm sure she was lazing about, but she did stuff. All right. So we got a happy dinosaur. He says, "Happy to you, Phoenix and friends. I changed my mind on my favorite MS3 TK episode, double feature at Samson versus Vampire Woman in Future War." Oh, that's in reference to the stream we were having yesterday.
Mike has Robert. So
You're roboting.
Because am I?
You still are.
Hello.
All right, you're better now. I love that. It's
reconnecting.
like this fireplace. Yep, this fireplace is big enough to sit in, but you probably shouldn't.
Yeah, see, I want to, just inject a little humor into it.
And I gotta say, I'm digging the humor. I am digging the humor.
I also wanted to give every
How about now?
NPC that you come across a bit more of a personality. You sound good right now,
All right.
but
Don't you know it?
there is. If you talk to that little girl out by the item shop, anyone who plays the game, you'll catch a bit of a reference.
Boy wearing a funny hat. Oh.
And then if you go up to, there's a character up at the top of the map. You have to cross the bridge for. But yeah, I wanted.
I can hear her frustration.
No, but most of the NPCs you get a bit of a story to, and some of them you can talk to more than once. I'm just gonna put that out there because I know a lot of people are gonna miss that their first time around.
Okay.
But I wanted this starting area to feel like a close knit community where most everyone knew each other.
All
You can
right.
talk to them again.
Okay. Seriously, go away. If I give you this funny looking flute thing, will you leave me alone? You got the funny looking flute thing. He is sleeping again. Better not disturb him. And there we go. That's the end.
Okay, now go to your key items.
How do I do that?
There you go.
Oh! I got an ocarina. Is it an ocarina of time?
We can't say that!
Legally, she literally can't say it.
Legally, yeah. But for anyone curious, there is a PNG file on my computer simply titled Wonk. You can come to your own conclusions.
Wait, called what?
Wonk.
Oh.
All right, what I miss?
I'm just playing Nix's game. This is a shill stream now.
Yeah.
My day's been pretty good. Happy Dinosaur. Just been made some food and whatnot. Made like some chicken, and because I got chicken. Yeah, now we're doing a live stream, and I will say I am trying to raise some money for some books. So if you'd like to help me do another printing of Screecher, I am selling slots for $10 a piece. You can just put in super chat. It'll be all good.
Oh, so if you go up to that big fancy house at the top left.
Top left, okay. And then it's time to wake up says Ocarina of Space Time. Okay.
Sure. You can use shift to run. At least I think you can. I could. Yeah, there we go. So you have to go behind the house. Other way. Well, I guess that way works too, though. And you press on that flower.
Oh.
So.
All right, take care, Jason. Oh, and he's eating lasagna again. That bastard.
Oh, you bastard, you son of a bitch.
But yeah, now you can.
Oh. This is an area. Ooh.
It is. Yeah, that hasn't been made interactable yet.
Please tell me, when you click on the cake, it'll say this is a lie. Please do that.
I'll
I will be
consider
very
it.
happy. Alright, oh. Oh, and here's a person lying down.
ZZZ.
That was
ZZZ.
funny. Yeah. I was just seeing if like there was multiple dialogue options. Oh, here's a person. Nix, you have a request.
I will consider it. Yeah, I'll totally do it.
Yeah. You know what you should do? You should have like a little Ko-fi thing where it's like people get their names in the game or like certain lines of dialogue.
Yeah, I definitely can do that. I don't know if I can do names properly, but I still will. I
Okay.
have been very good. I've been hanging out with my family, actually, and I've only been able to just get to my for working on this recently today. By recently, I mean like just in the last hour or so.
Oh, you've been burning the oil, girl.
Yeah, well, I was out. We went for lunch, but we called it breakfast, and then we went to a couple different parks for my nieces to play at.
Oh, that's cool. Family is important, honestly.
It is.
But still,
Oh,
Nix
oh.
and other guy. How are your days in Curious? By the way, the other guy's name is Caster. He digs graves.
You gotta click on that hat. You gotta go up to click on that hat.
What
I've
hat?
been the one right.
Wait, hold up. Other guy. Other guy.
Oh,
That purple thing right there is a hat.
oh, I remember when I clicked on that before. It had a certain line of dialogue that I had some words for.
Yeah, it's not supposed to show up till later in the game. And there's a reason behind it. There is a very good story reason behind it.
Okay, all right.
Just in shock.
Yes.
Other guy.
The guy, I'm still feeling it.
All right, he apologizes though, so it's all good.
Oh, you didn't have to remember my name. It's right here on the freaking underneath my face.
It's plastered. Anyways, we got a knife.
Yes. Oh, watch out! The girl's got a knife.
Yeah.
Sophia's got a knife. I guess you could say she's quite the knife girl.
But also, if you check her accessory, there is a bit of story bit to there too. You go down. Go down one more. There we go.
Oh, and her prized possession, Frolic necklace.
So if you you remember the little cross outside her house?
Oh.
Yeah.
All right.
That
so
thing's very cliche, I know, but I am going somewhere with it.
In his defense, Caster, his vision is based off of movement. So
Okay.
Get the dino some slack.
Caster, you have to start moving your name around a little bit.
Yeah,
This feels really weird, especially considering I literally have a pet rat up there right now.
Well, I was gonna say maybe don't play this with charcoal around.
I feel like
blind mice.
I feel like put a blindfold on him or something. Like I get a little tiny blindfold for charcoal.
But fun thing is, my nieces actually, I let them play it too while I was working on it with them around. And my youngest, the 4-year-old, well, she's not really the youngest anymore. The middle child now, she really enjoyed playing it. She liked being able to kill creatures and walk around, which, I mean,
that kind of says a lot. Says that's kind of concerning, but okay.
I love to kill the small animals.
No, she liked killing the other creatures I have, but you'll see them in a moment once you finish this quest.
All right.
I actually had a bit of trouble with this quest because I tried to make single rat enemies that I could link to the quest, but it wouldn't work, and it would refuse to register the quest as being finished. So I was like, okay, whatever. I'll play your game.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
you'll play a game to make a game.
Yeah, but there's been a lot of stuff that I've really wanted to do with this game that I wasn't able to because the system is a little limited. So I'm trying to just kind of find little workarounds wherever I
So
can.
Angela says, all the nice girls are taken though. Play on the world nice. Yes, 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 yes. All right.
Fun fact: I'm currently also working on implementing little cutscenes. Not like movie cutscenes with like animation or stuff, just using the sprites. But
Oh yeah, yeah.
So
In-game
those aren't
cutscenes.
aware, Nyx is gonna do a $1 million Kickstarter, so she can hire
Yeah.
Madhouse Studios to create anime cutscenes for her game.
oh
Yeah.
god, that would be the dream.
High-end quality anime cutscene, and then it goes right back to 16-bit sprites.
Oh,
I mean, it works.
straight out of 1998, coming soon for the PlayStation 1.
Yeah.
It works.
All right, so it's time to wake up. Says, fun fact: I am error was actually a joke, a computer error. Bagu the Letterman translates to bug, computer bug. Oh, okay. All right, I get it. I like it.
Interesting.
Yeah, they were brothers, Bug and Error.
What about like the girl who heals your wounds, who she takes you into her house and like, I can't believe they put that in the game.
Oh, that was the town's war. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Well,
Oh, she heals wounds.
the old lady does the same thing. Heals your magic. Mm-hmm.
I mean, if I guess Link is into that kind of thing.
And Link likes them old and young.
Would he be though? Would he be? Yeah. So if you're running low on health, you can always go back to your house and sleep in your bed.
That's the old tried and true.
Yeah.
Right.
I had a hell of a time implementing that system too, but so I had to go and just like, all right, well, there's like a quick event thing here. I'll just use that, and then I was like, aha, okay.
Yep, I just got done feeding a world eating, monster, and I'm wounded and everything. Quick nap will take care of me.
Yeah, it's like on Skyrim. It's like I'm low on health. Let me eat 45 potatoes. Oh, I'm right as rain.
Honestly, I'm pretty sure that should have been a good tactic, for your enemies. Your enemies are like, Jesus Christ, did you just down 15 cabbages?
What? No. That would intimidate me. I'm not gonna lie.
Like he just downs like 15 cheese wheels, and it's like I didn't hear no bell.
His wife Lenore. I know who you're referencing.
Of course.
Got a bottle of water.
Oh wait, no, go back. There's something I wanted to show. So I don't think people can hear it because I can't hear any of the audio coming through.
No, the music doesn't come up.
I didn't think so, but it should come up for you. I don't know, but maybe go click on that little box thing on the little table. Go on.
I turn. Yep. All right. 1 second. All right. Yep, I hear music box music.
Yeah.
Is there something you need to tell us, Nyx, about your feelings towards a certain content creator fellow?
What? Oh no, it's a reference to the Raven, Edgar Allan Poe.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
NES Password, Dustin Bailey. Bailey is actually Australian for swimsuit. I was not aware of that. This guy just down an entire dining hall. Let's cheese it. Yeah.
I
guess you could say
would.
I guess you
Dude's
could
like
say
a world class champion eater. That's
I guess you could say-
intimidating.
I guess you could say I'm dangerously cheesy.
But yeah, no, go back to the item shop for a second, because like you gotta like click on some of the items there. Because I've the little bread basket by the cake is one, because it also gives her
About your mom baked to sell. Okay.
just small cute things, you know, give your character some personality. Because I enjoy that part of games when you, especially RPGs, when they like make stuff interactable, and you get a little more about your character, or even just something stupid and humorous. Not everything yet is interactable.
All right. So where do I go now?
So there's a pond up above the item shop.
Oh, it's an old key.
And if you click on the one of those baskets or those crates right there,
Life up. Okay.
you're gonna
All
want
right,
to
no-
use it. There you go.
All right.
Okay, so you see that house by Sophia's? Or below, I guess.
All right. Oh, the old clock still works. That's good. Oh, okay. All right. So Happy Dinosaur's phone battery's getting low. All right. Good day. Happy day to you, Happy Dinosaur.
Good night. Well, for me at least.
Yeah. Yeah, Nintendo Wake Up is clapping. Oh, La Dungeon.
Yeah, so go to the left first. Don't forget you can run with shift. See, there's a gate. Now you can go to the right.
Take it back now, y'all.
Yeah.
One office. Oh, what's this? Oh, it's like an old secret bar. Okay.
Yeah. The one little bit of swearing in my game so far. I'm very proud of that, actually. See,
It's
unlike
the
a
men's
certain
club.
dictionary.
There's a girl in the men's club. Oh, this goes against our 300-year tradition.
Oh, wait. No. You gotta go back and talk to him for a second. Like I said, there are certain characters you can talk to kind of over and over.
Oh, I got 15 gold. Okay. All right. Okay, he's just
And
repeating
yeah.
dialogue now.
Yeah.
This person looks shady. Oh, he doesn't have a drink. That is quite queer. Probably let him throw up in peace. All right, let's
You can talk. Wait, no, go back. There's something in the little. There you go. Up. No,
Oh, what
no, that's a bug. Go back down. I fixed
No.
that already, thankfully.
It's not a bug, it's a feature.
No, it's not. It was a bug. I'm kind of focusing on the bigger picture right now, so I haven't had a chance to go back and like implement smaller like details in this area specifically. But you can talk to the old passed out dude again. No, not him. He's throwing up.
I'm not gonna touch that.
Yeah, probably better you don't. I kind of
Slimes.
Yeah, another tried and true enemy. But I kind of felt like I was making a few of my characters in this specific area a little too nicey nice, so I was like, you know what? We'll add in a sleazeball here and there, or shitty human being.
Yeah. All right, so I'm gonna continue playing this later. I'm just gonna go home, go back to the house, gonna sleep, and then save, and yeah, we'll start wrapping up. But yeah. So what's the time frame for this game so far?
So far, I have no idea. I'd
It'll be
say
done when it's done.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's actually kind of funny, but if you go back and talk to the old lady who's standing right outside of the house.
Oh, I'm fine. We'll do that. That's the last thing I'm gonna do.
Well, I was gonna say it. You know, she's one of those characters I was gonna make. She's got a few lines of dialogue, so I was like, you know what? At first, I think I'm gonna make her like a stereotypical naggy kind of character, but then I was like, maybe I should give her a little bit of hidden depth, just so I don't have like caricatures for characters.
All right.
Also,
Well-
fun fact: she's the mother of the sleeping boy at the top of the map.
Oh. Okay. Well, next week is May the 4th, which most of you guys know as Star Wars Day. So, in honor of that, me, Caster, and Jared from the Phoenix Press. Oh god, that's a flub. Jared from Comics League will be here to discuss our favorite Star Wars games. That's going to be next week. On Tuesday, we're playing some Lords of the Fallen as well as other stuff you request. Friday, we're going to be talking about if curse words belong in comics and video games. That'll be a rather colorful conversation. Then Saturday, we're doing Cyberpunk. So, Caster, any last words?
Well, let's see here. No, not really. Just I was gonna say, it's really, I gotta say, like, a lot of my time playing video games, I played mostly RPGs, and just the fun and adventure you can go on them is just once in a lifetime, and when you can do it over and over again. So if if you're curious about any of these, please go back and watch, or go back and play if you can, a lot of the RPGs we talked about, because they're just absolutely amazing. Interactive storytelling basically at its best.
Yep. And if you're watching on the replay, please tell us in the comments below what your favorite RPG is. Please make sure to give us a like. This goes to the live viewers as well as anybody watching in the back end. Nix, any final words?
Play the demo
Money.
to my game. Yes, and also give me money. Put in your collections on itch.io, or itch.io, or however you choose to say it.
Scratch
I don't
that
know.
itch. Scratch that itch. Play her game, and then toss her all your money. Like just empty your wallets onto her. Like just like she turns on her faucet and just
Make it rain.
funny Canadian money just pops out.
Yeah.
I'm constantly updating. Just
Yeah.
comment if it has a bug, and I will fix the bug. I
Yes.
already actually fixed that wall bug, but I forgot to update that.
Nix is good game dev. We respect her. So yeah, thank you everyone for joining us. This was really fun. I can't wait to talk about my favorite Star Wars game and why KOTOR is the best game ever. But thank you everybody. Remember, I can let you the door. Gentlemen, to walk through it.